Okay, that's better. You know, I just started on like the wrong stream, or like a past one, I think. But we should be good now. Let me post in Discord. Everyone, chillest stream ever. OMG. Get out of here. You guys believe that little weenie boy? Let me see. I also need to. Everyone. No. 8-second stream, new PR. Yeah. But we're back. Okay, this one, this one will be longer. All right, at least 16 seconds, give or take. Hold up. I need to figure out a better way to do this. For whatever reason, I can't like type in the, or I can't paste in my overlay thing, so I have to like manually type it. But okay, chat should be connected now. Spam the chat. Show us you're here. I was gonna listen to the Spirit in the Capital. I think I still will. All right, we're gonna bop for a second. All right, Spirit in the Capital. Shut it down. It is. Say it back. Wait, I don't know. See what you said. Hang on. Good late night to you. Oh yeah, good late night to you as well, Cobb Watcher. Good to see you, buddy. All right, I'm gonna throw out this while I get a little bit more ready.
Clock strikes midnight, lights go low. DC's frozen, but the bills still grow. Checks don't clear, rent comes due. Working without pay, what are we supposed to do? Now the dome's just empty halls. Spirit Halloween put up their walls. Rubber masks where the law should be. Selling costumes of democracy. Promises fade in the Capitol fight. Families can't wait for a deal overnight. Insulin costs more than rent in this town. Ghosts of a shutdown haunt all around. Shut it down, but we still carry on. Hearts beat louder when the checks are gone. Voices rise like a protest song. Spirit in the Capitol can't shut us down. Can't shut us down. Can't shut us down.
We'll play this every day to wear the shutdown.
Yeah, plastic sights and vampire teeth cover the cracks in the marble beneath. A house of masks, a senate of bones, selling tricks while we need loans. Premiums rise, Medicaid falls, but they're busy hanging cobwebs in the halls. Ghost lights flicker, the truth gets blurred when the people are props and the law's just a word. Promises fade in the Capitol fight. Creepers can't wait for a deal overnight. We're not afraid of the threats they sound, even when the spirit shop takes the town. Shut it down, but we still carry on. Hearts beat louder when the checks are gone. Voices rise like a protest song. Spirit in the Capitol can't shut us down. Yeah, Hauser's not a costume, not a mask, not a game, but they swap it for a cape in a plastic flame. Back pays promise, but the rent won't wait. Contractors cut off while the shelves inflate. Skeleton crew runs the nation's floor, while Spirit Halloween sets up shop in the core. This is cosplay power, seasonal lies, but the people are the ones who will never disguise. Shut it down, but we still carry on. Hearts beat louder when the checks are gone. Voices rise like a protest song. Spirit in the Capitol can't shut us down. Shut down scars, but it won't define. The people hold the power, the streets are mine. Every mask fades, every costume's done. Still we carry on till the work is won. Can't shut us down. Can't shut us down.
It's so true. They cannot shut us down. Kaiser, I am feeling a little bit better. I would say a little bit better. Although I'm still popping Tylenol. Still Still riding, still rolling on that Tism simulator. You know what I mean? Mr. Bill says, "Why aren't you protesting your local ice building?" I don't know. There's a like a major ice facility near me. I don't think we have like a particular like. I don't think the area I'm in just has a lot of that. I guess I could dig into that, but I probably should be if there was one. If I was closer to if I was in like Chicago or some shit like or just Illinois in general or there's definitely places that if I lived near one I probably would be protesting. I mean it's not 24/7. I mean some people are there I imagine are there 24/7, but I think there's like Kat Abugazawa has been going to like every Friday, getting thrown on the fucking ground by ICE agents over and over. 8 seconds is the average length of time before Radical Coder runs out of patience with a conservative panelist on a Raging Tomato. More like the time before they run out of patience with me. Headache-free tism. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, so far so good. I woke up feeling like just a little bit dull, you know? Go back to the old folks' home before the orderlies come to find you, Mr. Bill. True. You were all talk, in other words? I don't think so. I mean, I went to the No Kings protest, and I believe there's another one. There's a, not No Kings, whatever the, I don't know what it's called. There's it's supposed to be mass protests on October 18th, I believe. October protest dates. I don't know if it's another no. Oh, did I miss? I guess I did miss a No Kings. Oh, wait. Okay, maybe, wait, let's see. Let's check out No Kings. Yeah, October 18th is another No Kings. Yeah, I'll probably go stream that. Almost certainly. Hey, Flezzy. Yeah, hey, Kaiser. Hey, Christine. Yeah, I think I'll probably go to this. I'll probably go to. I got a like I was saying. I actually got a new. See if I can find it. Bro, I don't know what I do. I lose everything, but it'll turn up, I'm sure, momentarily. But I got a new stick. What do you call it? Oh, it's literally right here, fucking next to me, dude. Check it. Look at this big bad boy. Alright. Be like, what up, guys? Yo, it's RC at the No Kings protest, 10/18. Know what I'm saying? It's got it's a nice solid stand, too. Very sturdy as it wobbles. Much sturdier than my other one. Like if you saw my my last No Kings protest stream, like when I set up my my old selfie stick, it was like falling over, and thankfully some kind lady was helping me keep it up, which is a hilarious sentence as that came out. Some nice lady was helping me keep it up. You know how it is. Christine said, I went and touched grass past few days, ended up stepping in dog shit. It's overrated. It's not that bad. Look. There's a lot of dog shit out there. It's okay. You can wipe it off. You can rinse off your shoes. Hopefully you were wearing shoes. If not, you can rinse off your feet. You know, weenie. Went to your room, the sun's room in the middle of the night and stepped in puppy shit. Sorry to hear that. No, not a walking stick. A selfie stick. It's a selfie stick. At least he was asleep. That's good. That's good. Kaiser with the dad maxing. Sorry, I'm scrolling back up. Touch grass and mingle amongst libs. Yeah, I probably will. Yeah. FG, have you learned what question mark means yet? Yeah, I think he's working on it. Did anybody catch my brief appearance on Verbal Combat tonight? Look, I understand that I am a unpopular figure in many of these spaces, in some sense. But like, I'm pretty sure that I won that debate. The thing you have is far too top heavy. Is top heavy? You think so? It's got a pretty sturdy like tripod. Like I think if my phone was on it, I think it would have held. It just looks a little shaky. But yeah, I agree. Like a better or like a more. I mean, it's like a $15 thing. We'll upgrade. Okay, look, support the stream, and we'll get better gear in due time. Okay. Here, let me set a goal. I haven't set it to an hour, so you guys got plenty of time. Support the stream. Support the dream. If you want me to do cool shit, with a cool tripod and a better selfie stick, you know what to do. Digital Denizen says you are consistently hated on every panel I've seen you on. It's impressive. Look, I got a reputation. Christine says, in my opinion, everyone's a loser on YouTube. That includes me, though. Denizen says, I don't understand why people hate you so much. They hate me because they hate me. You know what I mean? Joe Cool says, people say I have a tripod, mostly women. No gimbal. I can't afford a gimbal right now. Joe Cool's not a bot. Oh, you mean a robot because he has a tripod? Donation goal for a heavy duty tripod? Yeah, maybe. No thrones, no crowns, no kings. You know what it is. Y'all know what it is. I don't really have anything planned. I just, I got kicked. I woke up. It's okay to be a loser, Ryan. Don't be so sensitive. I'm okay with being a loser. Look, I can live. I as a loser, I can what is it? What's the phrase? It takes one to know one. So I can identify all the other losers, Kaiser says snacks. W snacks. Sarcastic Saint says, please donate so Ryan can get a new hairstyle. Yo, Saint, are you still... What we were laughing our asses off at that interaction. Are you still triggered by that comment I made to Candy? I think I'll give you, it was a little out of pocket, but I thought it was funny. I don't know. Oh, the wife brought the hookup of snacks? Hell yeah, dude. Donation goal for food and water for Umbreon. Yes, Radical Coder can starve. As long as we feed Umbreon. Help my wiener get big and strong. Thank you, please. Thank you, please. Like I said, I don't have anything planned for tonight. I've got a million tabs open. I'm probably just gonna go through and show you guys my workflow for organizing tabs and cleaning out. Because I got too much shit open. If you could see the top of my screen, I got a dozen tabs in this one window. And I've got 5 windows open. Because my computer's just been on for days. And I want to go through and clean shit out. I don't want to starve, though. Support the Taco Bell fund. What's wrong with Radical Coder's hair, bro's hair game is strong. It's strong, but it's maybe too consistent. You know what I mean? Chat on screen still slow. Oh, it's stuck. Yeah. It's not just slow. It's actually stuck. Here we go. Should be better now. Spam the chat. Out of context sounds bad. Saint says no because I made some outrageous comments to you and others in Sarah's chat, so I am in the same boat as him. I had to rethink a lot of what I said. That's why I was that's why I was giving you shit. When we were all laughing because this is the guy who was talking about my quote unquote not to call you out, Saint, but you were talking about my quote unquote tight virgin asshole, dude. And what I said to Candy was, and again, out of pocket. Don't get me wrong, out of pocket. I will not deny that. It was out of pocket. But what I said was that she was mad that I won't spit in her mouth. Okay, so that was listen, controversial joke. But I was really, because she was like talking about sending her husband into the fucking voice call, and I was like, this lady's husband is gonna come yell at me for saying his wife is mad that I won't. He's gonna yell at me because I won't spit in his wife's mouth. Like, I just needed that. I needed that content, but we didn't get it. Yeah. Again, out of pocket. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. It was edgy. I think both were funny. I think both were very funny. Sorry, Christine. It's over. Look, the conversation's settled. We've got it out there. Yeah, but I don't know. Sarcastic saying. I think both of us are on the edge there with our. At least, to your credit, your comments were like to a fellow mod who has an existing banter, and mine was just like to some random chatter who was talking shit. So, I will grant you that. Anyway, no thrones, no crowns, no kings. October 18th, millions, including me and Umbreon, will be rising again to show the world America has no kings. Scoomy. And the power belongs to the people. The people. That's us. All right. Oh, also, by the way, if you've not done this yet, which I see some of you have like normal chat colors. Did Mr. Bill get a hold of you? He was in the chat earlier. Mr. Bill's in my chat every time. His caretakers let him come here and talk to us. So is ad revenue worth it? Yes or no? I mean, I don't see a lot. I see like a very tiny amount coming in, but I can see the potential. I can definitely see the potential. Like it's literally like, I know you said you don't want details. Like it's almost nothing based on the views I currently get, but I can imagine like as views ramp up, like that it would definitely build up. Jesus, Fuzzy. Why does it feel like these protests are useless? Perhaps I'm just too doomer pilled to see the point. I understand what you're saying. It feels kind of fruitless. I think, to be honest, like I think a big part of it is like morale. Like going, like I felt like super energized. I don't think protests are pointless. I felt wildly energized after I went out there, and I just saw so many people in my local community who are just feel as disturbed by what we're seeing as I do. You know what I mean? Like it's a healthy reminder, especially when you spend a lot of time in these online spaces where like there is a lot of doomer, there is a lot of negativity, there's a lot of support for a lot of like at least verbal support for what the Trump administration is doing. It's good to see that like just a lot of people and like just a lot of real normal ass people are like, hey, this is fucking crazy. And I think that's valuable for both us to see as people who feel that way, and for other people who don't feel that way to see as well. You know what I mean? Saint says, Ryan Nuke is an asshole because he was sticking up for you last night. He was like, Ryan brings content and money. Ryan is money, basically, is what he was saying. And I'm like, fine. He's kind of right. I really do. And I mean, like it was smart of Sarah to up the ante. Like it may not have. Arguably, I don't even know if I would say she like made less because of it. Because like, I think what would have happened if she didn't raise it is like someone probably would have just dropped like $20 in a split and like just kept me in the back the whole time. And like instead, there was like I was up there making content with people. Wait, did you stream the protest you attended, Ryan? I sure did. Yeah, I streamed the No Kings protest in August, I believe. August? Is it August? Wait. Let's see if we can find it. This was back when I was doing. Yeah, here we go. No Kings protest. Look at my beard, dude. I was getting shaggy. I was getting shaggy out there. That was crazy. That's a solid beard. I should grow it out a little bit more again. You weren't subbed to me 3 months ago? Wow, don't let that happen again. 3 months from now, I don't want to hear that. Congrats on the name color, Nuxus. I think she should have upped it to like 50 to boot and 50 to bring back, because that will show you who has the money to do it. Sure, there's something to that. Kaiser Gaming, not quite. You want to write exclamation point name color? Here, I'll pull up the commands again. I'll help you out. You did do it wrong. You can do it in any of these kinds of commands. But you don't just want to do. So here's the thing. Let me post this. Here, let me post the I can't guarantee that, Ryan. I get emotional and make irrational decisions. That's all right. Me too. Me too sometimes. Don't we all? Don't we all get a little emotional sometimes? I try to think outside of the small sphere of the Panelverse, Saint. True. But yeah, Kaiser, you want to, it's exclamation point name color and then some hex code. It doesn't have to be any, no R word. Yeah. Wait, did I say it? I don't think I said it. I said it last night. I said it last night once on the panel. I think I got upset at one point and said it. I feel bad when I do. I've been trying to stop, you know. It's something I want out of my vocabulary. It's hard when it's like being thrown around so much and it's like hyper normalized, and then like, yeah, moron is allowed. I support calling people morons. I don't even like when I call someone a moron. I don't actually think like people are like genuinely stupid. Yeah, don't say red in here. Yeah, no red. Let's see. Yeah, Nuxus. That's looking good. Actually, kind of matches. Wait, let's look at your emote. I guess not, but for some reason it's reminiscent. Like it feels like it fits your emote a little bit. I don't know. Also, look at my cool color scheme. Look at that. That green, that coder green. I don't know. It's honestly kind of ugly now that I look at it more. I feel like I need to change the chat bubble color. Maybe a good red might be cool with this combo. Hasn't Trump used the R slur? I don't know if he has. I don't know if he does. Let me see. Has Trump used the... I mean, I'm just going to type it, okay? Has Trump called people... I'm going to type it, okay? I'm not going to say it. There you go. Look at... He might have called Kamala that. I don't know. Yes, multiple reports comment using the word in similar slurs. Reportedly and on record, Trump has used the term... or mentally R-slurred to insult opponents and officials. In 2018, the Washington Post found examples from his Howard Stern interviews where he used those words. Disability advocates criticized him, and Trump denied calling Jeff Sessions mentally R-slurred, though the reporting cited multiple instances on tape. That chat bubble looks good now. Apparently called Jeff Sessions that. Oh, you're just guessing random color codes? Well, like I said, I posted a link that you can use to like get a specific color. What's up, John Mosman? Let's see. So yeah, here's an article that I pulled up just the other day. I don't even know. Someone like said something about Trump making a Pfizer deal. So here's what I do. I'm gonna copy the link to this article, and then I'm going to close it out, hop over to my ChatGPT. I'm just going to paste the link in my ongoing chat, and I'm going to get a markdown breakdown of this article for my Obsidian vault. Glitchin says, I think it's one of the dumbest things to take offense to. I know a person with Down syndrome who regularly reminded us he wasn't an arsler, but sure all of us were, and he's an expert, so I don't know. I like, just because there are people who don't take offense to it doesn't mean that a lot of people don't. You know what I mean? Trump calling someone the arsler. The irony is rich. Christine says most people with Downs are way smarter than most. I can see that. I think people really like assume that like Down syndrome people are like actually stupid. I think that's part of the thing with the arsler. Like a lot of these different conditions, like people have a weird. I think people have a very simplistic idea of what intelligence means, and I think intelligence manifests in a lot of different ways. It's way more complex than like I don't know. But maybe I'm just arslered. There you go, Nuxus. Setting the text color to whatever that is. You guys hear my weenie whining? Let's see what's next. I have this ACA article, or this article about the ACA and doubling premiums. This is from the stream we did where we were investigating the government shutdown, I believe. So again, I just kind of copy that link, toss it in here. We might take like callers or something. If you guys want to, if anyone wants to hop on, let me know. I just, I went on Verbal Combat and I got kicked off so quickly. I was like, oh well. And then I think Growling was like, go live. And I said, oh, well, I guess. Okay. Maybe I will. And then I did. Because I'm still not at 100% capacity. You know what I mean? It's a nice summary of that article. So enhanced ACA premium tax credits introduced in 2021 and extended throughout 2025 under the Inflation Reduction Act are set to expire at the year's end. If they expire, subsidized enrollees' average annual premium payments will jump from $888 to $1,904, a 114% increase. Middle-income households will be especially hard hit, with some losing eligibility altogether. For example, a $28,000 income individual would see a benchmark plan cost, would see their benchmark plan costs rise from 1% of their income to 6% of their income annually. Enrollment surged from 11 million to over 24 million people due to those enhanced subsidies. Expiration effects are worsened by the Trump administration tax credit calculation changes and rising 2026 premiums. So without action by Congress, millions of ACA enrollees face sharp cost increases and possible loss of coverage affordability. And this is allegedly one of the main things that the Democrats were complaining about with the CR. They were trying to get some negotiations about this. But instead, the Republicans are saying that they're fighting to get health care for illegals. So, I'll let you decide which one is the reality. I think this is a kind of a similar article, but I'm just going to do the same thing. What's up, Animated Effigy? Did you see my brief verbal combat tonight? How'd you think that went? Welcome to being a liberal on verbal combat. It's annoying. Yeah, I think I've only gone on one other time and like a similar thing happened where I was like, I'm pretty sure that I did way better. I'm pretty sure I won that debate. I think it was against JS on like whether dinosaurs existed or something. Christine says, I never connect the R word with someone who has a disability. It's for those who claim they are smart and clearly aren't. That's fair. Cop Watcher says, I'm a DGGer. Hearing that R Slur has been very normalized for me. As an ex-Destiny fan, I understand what you mean. But I was never like a DGGer, I don't think. I never spent a lot of time in like Destiny's. I guess I spent some time in the chat. I don't know. I was like a what's the right way to put it? I was always like on the cusp of being an orbiter. I was like a very loose orbiter. What is VK? That's Speakeasy's like debate panel. They does verbal combat. And I debated some incredibly stupid people on there. Yeah. I mean, the guy I was debating, like, he wasn't dumb. He didn't seem dumb. He was just like, he was just kind of agreeing with me. Like, I feel like he made a lot of concessions. I feel like even on like Grid's panels. Oh, you're being an asshole. Okay, I was gonna say I feel like you know, but like even on Grid's panels, you know, like they at least have some like illusion of objectivity, where they will like if somebody like really like obviously loses a debate, like they'll like passive aggressively like score in like really weird ways, but they will give the win to the person who wait. The last time I hung out with my friend Raymond, who was slow in the uptake, he made me tons of money at the casino and made a movie about it, but then I joined Scientology. I had to give it all away to know God. Oh, interesting. Agent Smith says that was BS, Ryan. You won that. Thank you, Agent Smith. I thought so too. Yeah. I was gonna say, Christine. FG says, yeah, you won that one. That's my problem. The chat is so tribal, they won't even recognize objectively who's debating better. It's about pushing ideology and owning the libs. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, whatever. To each their own, you know. I would be concerned if I fostered a space that was like that personally, and I think I've done a good job. You know, like almost to my. I've been talking about this a bit recently. Like I'm like a little bit unsure how I feel. Like I like that I have a lot of different, like a wide diversity of people who come into my chat and stuff. But like I do spend a lot of time going on like right wing panels. I always have, and I think there's a lot of progressives who like are just less interested in that. But I guess they're just not the ones they're not my target audience. I don't know. I wanna start like having. I wanna explore different spaces, I guess is what I'm saying. You cannot change someone else's colors. No. They were gonna pay to get you off anyways. Yeah, I'm not surprised. No, you can't change other people's colors. Even my mods cannot change other people's colors. I did not code it that way. I set it up so that only individuals can change their own colors. Good to see you, Z King. But by the way, if you have not changed your colors, if you are a chatter who has regular, just the white text in my chat, in my chat overlay, you can use these commands. Although these specific colors, so let's see. Okay, so this F, I think this color is a red. But let's also do like a, let's say for a blue. Oh wait, shit. Let's say we wanted a blue. I guess I need to split these. So here's what I'll do. Oh, poor boy. You guys hear that whiny dog? That poor whiny dog. What are you even crying about? Where are you? Hang on. You are pathetic. What is wrong with you? I'm not gonna let you out there. I'm not gonna reward you for whining. I'm not going to. I won't do it. I won't do it. Oh shit, Schizo Spud with the $2. Yo, thanks, buddy. Good to see you, Schizo Spud. Thanks, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Start a new goal. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Schizo Spud. Of course, he goes blue and not purple. What, for Schizo Spud? Zeke says, "Good evening, everyone, and my future husband, Ryan." No, thank you, Zeke. Listen. I'm just a guy. I'm literally just a guy. Yeah, I did step on something. Here. There. Umbran has this puzzle. It has a squeaker. Oh, he didn't even find all the treats in here yet. Did you know you missed one, buddy? Here. You've been quiet for a second since I got back up, so let's set up a little puzzle for you. It's okay, buddy. You're gonna get it. This is like his favorite thing in the world. And it's good for his like IQ or whatever, apparently. Makes him smarter. And he's always been a really smart dog, so maybe because I've been doing this since he was a puppy. Which he still kind of is. He's still kind of a puppy. Oh, I know. You're a puppy, yeah. Okay, so see, it's now stacked up. There's treats in here, and he's gonna. Yeah, you want this? You want to solve a puzzle? You want to solve a puzzle? No, I'll keep him busy. Puppy GPT? Yeah. No, I didn't step on him. Not this time. I've stepped on him before. Yeah, no kings. Sorry. Yeah, that includes Z King, unfortunately. No Z Kings. Puppy GPT. I think I already read that. But yeah, good to see you, Polygraph. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I appreciate you all, by the way. Can I just say it? Can I be a little, what's the word? I don't know. My heart is warm. Ryan is such a good dog dad. So wholesome. I'm trying. Oh yeah, I was trying to fix this to be, here's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to make copies of this. And then I'm going to remove some of these. So this one will be name color. Have one say text color. And then one for chat color. So now what I can do is actually I can change the individual colors to like be more specific. So let's say like chat color. This one's the red. We'll say text color. We'll change it to like a blue. And then name color, we'll do like a green maybe. Just so you get like people get an idea of like what these different what the different colors are, or what the different colors they have access to are. I mean, obviously you can do any colors. Yeah, we have a very big range of colors. We have every color realistically. Christine says Diddy should have gotten longer. I didn't see what the end result was, but yeah, I mean, it sounds like Trump's priest got 6 months. That's crazy. What's up, Asvarun? I don't know. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support the other night. You want bold and not bold, remove BG color, remove border. Wait for these. I mean, I could remove the border. It's just that's just not the. I just wanted to show like I just wanted to show some different colors. You want a hot pink? We can do a hot pink. Here, we got a hot pink. And now I want to change the, let's make an orange maybe. There we go. Portfolio looking good right now. Good to hear. Good to hear. Prove it. Show us by supporting the stream. Left line, all elements, and 2 column. Oh, I see what you're saying. I could do that. I mean, I could even, I think they're all, wait, this is the text, the line. Straighten them all a little bit. Whoop. It looks pretty good there. Oh, I see what you're saying. Sure. Well, thank you, Polygraph. Thank you for the design tips. Yeah, I probably could make the text bolder. Let's see. And maybe even, ooh, that's actually cleaner. Comic Shans, not just Comic Sans. Or, ooh, here we go. That's even better, actually. That's much, probably easy to read, right, guys? That's cleaner. A good font. I'm going to be honest, Polygraph, I don't like looking at that stuff. But I am curious. I like learning about this stuff. But I don't, I like, as a developer even, I hate reading documentation. Fucking hate it. I like when my favorite kind of documentation is where it has like an interactive widget, like where it has like, here's the code and you can tweak the code and see the changes in the documentation. I like that. I don't like just reading documentation. It's like not, I need interactivity when I'm learning stuff. That's why I liked math so much as a kid going through school. Like I was really good at math because like during the lectures I could do the math problems like I'm writing notes, but I'm also like I would try to solve ahead, right? So I'd be like, oh, I think I know how to handle this, and I would like try things. So it was like it's like interactive in real time, and computer science was obviously similar. W3 Schools does do that. I've used W3 Schools a lot for teaching code as well. Yeah, I fuck with W3 Schools. If you guys don't know, W3 Schools, fantastic site. I mean, obviously I'd have to change the perspectives here a little bit, but you get the idea. You can change the code. This is a word. In fact, you know what would be fun? Let's do real quick. Generate a simple HTML5 app using no CDNs. Make it ridiculously weird and colorful and interactive and fun and blah, blah, blah. Cool. It's a color playground. That's perfect for what we've been doing. Hey, Cody. Did I already say that? I've got brain fog. It's my Tylenol brain. What else? Oh, it's a tricky balance. Got to do what you like and also balance the design rules. Yeah, for sure, for sure. What else is on your minds? What's going on? So, like I said earlier, I don't really have like a big. I don't have a big plan for tonight. I'm just kind of. I mean, I guess this is common for our streams, right? We're just kind of winging it. Um, I don't know. I was honestly considering not streaming tonight. Like I was like, oh, I'll do verbal combat, and then I got booted, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just chill. Um, maybe hop on panels and stuff. But I decided to go live. Uh oh, it didn't finish. Let's we try with the reasoning. And while we do that, here's the commands again. Saw me on the debate thing. What'd you think, then, Cody? Did I get destroyed? Do you think I got destroyed? It was like a 60%, 60% people like voted against me. So, you know, kind of rough. The panel stuff is fun but evil. That's true. That's real. Okay, wait. Okay, we got a new one. This one seems to be done. Seems to have worked. I work out a deal with Sarah seriously. We'll talk about it. Again, like Sarah supports the stream from time to time. I appreciate it. Okay, wait. I have an offensive question. Feel free to ignore it. All right, I'm listening. I know it kind of slaps. I don't know. Oh my god! Wait! Stop! I don't know who has fucking epilepsy and shit. No chaos mode. No chaos mode. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry for that. Are you feeling like you're doing everything you can to resist this takeover? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I actually feel I feel like I'm like massively underutilizing myself. I think that's a good question, and I also feel kind of unsure about where to pour my energy, and how to address things. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a great question actually. I really don't know. Um, I guess there's like a there's like a financial insecurity thing where I'm like still trying to make sure that I have like a ground to even like do whatever I can do based on. Um, but I mean that's true of a lot of people, right? So I'm trying to. The goal would be that I can resist through education and be like make some sort of living doing it. Um, that's like the dream, but is it realistic right now? I don't even know. Like things are getting pretty scary out there. It's basically where I'm at to a large degree too. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I guess like I don't know. I don't want to like overstate or understate like what anybody's doing. Like we only have so many spoons, you know. But I think the people I don't know. Maybe this is a cope, but I think the people who are like even asking like if they're doing enough, I feel like that's like a good sign that you're because a lot of people don't even think that there's a problem. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't even think that like what's happening right now is like absolutely insane, which is quite scary. So I don't know, but I think it's something I'm trying to it's something I'll be meditating on. You know, like where should my focus be? Where, like, what, um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, not an offensive question at all. I think a super important one. I would say it's a super important question. Something I'm going to spend a lot of time like trying to figure out exactly where I fall in it. I mean, again, like obviously, like protests and stuff are good. I think educating people is good. Like trying to sound the alarm. Um, Clayton, I already lost. They already knocked me out. I was there earlier. Yeah, of course, Polygraph. Thank you for asking about it. Yeah, Nukes, just start a channel. Do it. Speak your truth, King. Yeah, Clayton. I would love to. I would love to go back. You know, if some if someone paid for me to go back. But honestly, I'd rather if someone was gonna like pay to get me back on Speakeasies, I'd rather just like support the channel here. Like, I mean, it's fun to do debates and stuff over there. But like, even if someone brought me back, like they'd still probably vote against me. Like, no matter how the debate goes, which in itself is a valuable is like there's some value in. I think he won the verbal battle but lost the verbal war. That's real. I think that there is something valuable in just like this is a ridiculous app, by the way. This thing's fucking cartoonish. No kings, amen. No kings. Um, there is something valuable in like just like people like anybody who's like not like ridiculously biased. I think can tell like what happened in that interaction. Like even that guy I was debating probably is like, did I actually win that? You know what I mean? Christine says, tell Speakeasy I have a ton of credit from last year and let you back up. I don't, I mean, I feel like you have to tell him that, but I feel like you don't want to do that. And Cody says, I am no king. I'm just a simple human being with questions and some answers. You have receipts? There may be something to that. I don't know. He looked like he was preparing to leave. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think the time limit is good with topics. I like that better than the total open panel clown show. Yeah, I agree. And I liked this is why I want to start doing panels more. I really liked the system I started kind of playing with last time I did an open panel, where it was like instead of focusing donations on like kicking people off, like we could focus donations on topic uh, topic changes. So it's like, hey, like donate, for a super chat, you can change whatever we talk about for the next X minutes or something. Like I think that's a good mechanism that is a little bit underexplored in the panelverse. You don't know why you're banned? What happened? Do you wanna tell us a bit more? So this is the Yale study that Bernie mentioned in his speech about the shutdown. So Yale School of Public Health researchers warned in a letter to Senate leaders that the proposed federal budget through deep cuts to Medicaid and other health programs could result in over 51,000 preventable deaths annually. Okay, I'm gonna read that again. Like, Yale School of Public Health researchers warned in a letter to Senate leaders that the proposed federal budget through deep cuts to Medicaid and other health programs could result in over 51,000 preventable deaths annually. The analysis highlights how reductions in coverage and funding would disproportionately harm vulnerable populations, exacerbating health inequities and worsening outcomes across the U.S. Kind of cringe. No, Ryan, we aren't doing any drama here. No, fair enough. Okay, yeah, okay. I didn't know it was. I was just curious. I'm not trying to do drama. You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to do that. I am not an anti-drama channel though. I will lean into drama if there's juicy drama. We can talk about it. You don't have to do it. Listen, I respect that. If someone doesn't want their drama to be aired out on my channel, I perfectly respect that. But if someone does, if there is someone who's like, hey, I got some juicy drama, I am willing to entertain. I'm pro-choice in that way. You know what I mean? Nuxie says, Ryan, if people have convinced themselves they're correct, you are pushing shit uphill to unconvince them they could be fallible. I guess. But I feel like that, again, that in and of itself, like the doing that in front of an audience, like, yes, there's the vocal people who are really invested, who are all going to make, like the people who are all going to vote in polls like that, who say that, like, you know, say that I did worse in that conversation, for example. But there's a lot of other people who are just like casual observers who are like, wait, what the fuck just happened? And I think that's valuable. Kaiser, unless your comment was IRL bad person, that's all we see. That's all we see. Who the fuck wants their juicy drama dragged out on someone's stream? I don't know. People like to air their grievances, Glitchin. I feel like there's a lot of that. Okay, Glitchin hit it because it had TOS shit. I feel like my mods see... It's so interesting. My mods see the messages that get hidden, but I don't. I don't know why that is. I don't know if I have a setting off or something. Like, I don't see the held messages for review. I'm glad my mods do. But that's just an interesting thing. Is that like a YouTube feature I'm just like completely unaware of? It's weird. Fuzzy says that was sarcasm, by the way, because I know you don't do that. So, I mean, again, I'm open to it. I'm open to it. Because we're better than you. Yeah. That's true. You're my door bouncers. Well, thank you, door bouncers. Thank you for handling that shit for me. I appreciate it. How's the delay on the chat and the overlay, by the way? I know there was a few issues with that the other day, but it feels like we don't have that insane like 20-second delay that we had. Like, I feel like you guys answer me pretty quickly now. Here's another one. This was the Supreme Court clearing the way to withhold $4 billion in foreign aid approved by Congress. Oh, you're counting. Sorry, there was like a 2-second delay between when I saw your message counting. So add -2 seconds from whatever you are counting from. Kaiser, talk shit about Kel all you want, but maybe don't refer to Robloxing yourself in Minecraft. Oh, I see. Yeah, you can talk shit about Kel, but I like Kel personally. Still 20 seconds, really? Interesting. Polygraph says it's about half of what it was before. That's better. I don't know how to improve it from that. I feel like we might be at the limits of what I'm capable of doing. I think it might just be like internet limitations. I mean, I am streaming, like I don't even have like a wired internet connection, right? Like I'm going through Wi-Fi and everything from a Mac Mini. I don't know if there's probably like some physical constraints that are affecting it at this point. If I got a better PC, better internet connection, set up some infrastructure like that, I feel like we could probably play with the latency a bit more. But it seems tolerable. Count to 15, but I'll do the stopwatch now. Oh, I guess you can do the counting based on when you see your chat appear on the overlay rather than my response to it. It'd probably be more effective because I read the messages before I read them out loud. So it's like a half a second to a second, like where I'm processing the information. It's just the magic of bouncing data around the world. Yeah, for sure. Fuzzy says 19.99 seconds from the time I hit send until it came up on the screen. Okay. Interesting. What is like the normal, like, well, I guess I can, let's see. Oops. What is the standard latency for a YouTube, Twitch, live stream? YouTube is 5 to 10 seconds. Twitch is 6 to 12 seconds. Both are configurable. Okay, for YouTube, you can choose between 3 presets. Normal, highest quality is about 20 to 30 seconds. Low, most viewers see under 10 seconds. And ultra low, under 5 seconds, which is more buffering risk, no 4K. Interesting. So people probably mostly do low latency, I would imagine. Which is why that 5 to 10 seconds would be the quote unquote standard. That would make sense. Let's see. So Supreme Court rejected Trump era 4NA impoundment powers. Wait, they rejected? I thought it was the opposite. Am I crazy? Did I misread this article? I was sick when I read this article. I mean, I'm still kind of sick, but I'm confused. Because this says Supreme Court clears way for Trump to withhold the foreign aid approved by Congress. But then this says, in a decision declaring that presidents may not withhold funds appropriated by Congress, the Supreme Court reaffirmed Congress's power of the purse. The ruling constrains unilateral executive control. This feels like the opposite of what happened. Is my AI just being goofy? You can change the latency in YouTube to 3 different levels. Yeah, that's what we were reading. The ruling issued in short, unsigned order, on the court's emergency docket is not a final decision on the broader question of the president's power to unilaterally impound congressional appropriated funding. The majority wrote that based on its preliminary view of the matter, the Trump administration had made a strong enough argument that the foreign aid groups who sued to restore the funds did not have a legal right to bring a lawsuit under the relevant federal statutes. Oh, interesting. That is quite different. I'm going to see. My ChatGPT seems wrong, is what I feel like. I feel like I'm going to change it to longer thinking mode and redo that. Like, I feel like it was like looking at a different article or something. You know what I mean? The ruling could further muddle negotiations over the impending government shutdown. Yeah, well, of course. Well, it is a government shutdown now. This was a few days ago. Okay, here we go. Makes more sense. The court upheld the administration's authority to withhold a large tranche of government. Tranche is a weird word. I've never heard that word. What does this word mean? A portion of something, especially money. Okay. Large tranche of congressionally funded approved foreign aid, reshaping the balance between executive discretion and Congress's power of the purse. Okay, this makes more sense. So here's another one. This is the Truth Social post that Trump did with Russ Vote, not of Vought Corp, but of Project 2025 fame. So don't get it twisted. Trump, of course, has no idea what Project 2025 is, as we all heard over and over on the campaign trail. Which is why he put Russ Vote in the position of Director of the United States Office of Management and Budget. That's the guy who Trump had no idea about Project 2025. Apparently he knew something about it. Apparently he knew a little bit about it, huh? Funny how that works. Oh, my changes didn't stick. If you were here the other day, I changed. It says Democrats have shut down the government. And so I inspected Republican shutdown is imminent. Republicans have shut down the government. Let's be so for real, all right? Republicans have shut down the government. There we go. Fixed it. We have fixed the whitehouse.gov website. Thank you, Donald Trump. I will expect my check in the mail. I only have 4 tabs up now. That's pretty cool. Almost got rid of them all. Okay, so this was this didn't really work the way I planned it to. That's fine. Nailed it, exactly. Thank you, Fuzzy. Here's another one. This was the we were talking about this last night. Testosterone in men and its effects. I think when we listen to these people talk about their perspectives on like testosterone and estrogen, I think they're just kind of like telling on themselves about how just fucking insane they think women are. Nuxus says I watch you on 2 devices, the TV and the phone. The TV has ads I don't skip, but I skip on the phone. Oh, thanks, Nuxus. Yeah, Nuxus, I'm in Florida, by the way. Ryan, I found a prompt you should debate someone on, like a quick one on one if anyone has the balls to step up. How should the right to individual privacy be balanced against national security interests, especially concerning online data and government surveillance? That's an interesting prompt. I don't know that I have like a really strong line. I think it's a really interesting question. My government got shut down. All I got was this lousy T-shirt. Yeah, I have been thinking. I think I have access to like through YouTube. I can like open up a merch store. So maybe something that could be a cool, like put that under like a radical symbol, like a radicand, the square root or whatever. It might be kind of sick. Oh, poor weenie, poor weenie. Come here, weenie. Come here. Oh, look at my weenie boy. My sweaty dad. Ryan is failing me. I'm sorry. What do you want me to say? I don't like. I don't just make up my positions, like on the spot. Like I genuinely try to think through things through. Like when I argue stuff like really strongly, it's because I like generally it's usually because I believe it. Like Nuxia says, Saint, it's ADHD. It's a boring question to argue. I don't think it's a boring question. I think it's a good question. I really do. I think it's a good question, but it's not one that I can like. It's just not one that I've investigated enough to like really have like. I mean, like watch this. Here's what we can do. I'm gonna copy it. Give me a Ryan Core intro to this topic. Weigh pros and cons and provide useful sources and insights. This is like what I would do to like get like to like introduce the topic to myself. Well, you're about to see how I use ChatGPT, okay? It's not, I don't just like ask ChatGPT a question and go, okay, tell me how I feel about this. Like that's not what I'm doing right now, right? I'm asking it for pros and cons about a prompt. And then I'm going to read those pros and cons and I'm going to reflect on how I feel about those pros and cons. Polygraph says you can blindly review data and not do it manually. That's true. That's true. I mean, they're going to be implementing this stuff now. The reality is new laws limit freedom typically. Yeah. That's true. Kaiser says, my life the day after the government gets shut down is much like my life the day after flat earthers tell me the earth is flat. Sure, that's probably true for most people, but there's going to be a lot of people who are impacted by this, right? There's going to be a lot of people who, like, there are functions that the government does. Like, there are things the government does that, like, we'll start to see, like, over time. We'll see, like, when, see, it gave me, like, an opener, but I didn't actually want that. But that's okay. It just this is it kind of assuming my position, right? So what I generally do is I like to read what it presents here, and then I'll like reflect on it. So this is what it thinks I would say. This is what it thinks my take would be, which is not necessarily what my take is. This is what ChatGPT thinks my take would be. When the state can see everything, power stops asking permission. When it can't see enough, real threats slip by. The job isn't to pick one. We have to engineer a boundary, targeted, audited, and judicially supervised intelligence that stops spies and terrorists without turning everyone's clickstream into government property. If data is the new terrain, the Constitution is still the map. And frankly, it's kind of on point, okay? That is so. What like I said earlier, when the question was asked, I was like, well, we have to figure out like some. I don't know exactly where the line is. I think, and that's exactly what it's saying here. It's like the job's not to pick one or the other. It's about engineering a boundary. Because I agree, there are like real threats that like are worth some degree of government interference, but it's like where we can't let it be like unrestricted, right? And that's kind of the first thing it says here. Power stops asking permission. So, oh, Kaiser says I do work a government job. I'm not worried about it. Fair enough. What? Wait, Kaiser, are you American? I assume you are. Like, do you are you not going to receive pay during the government shutdown? Because like that would be an issue, right? For I mean, maybe you have like maybe you're in a spot where it's not the end of the world if you don't receive a paycheck, like this week or next week, or for a month even. But like, there's a lot of people who are actually going to face consequences, right? Sarcastic Saint says, just because you can't debate it, Nuke, doesn't make it boring. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I'm gonna get some more water, and Umbreon is gonna run out the door. So here, I'll take a little bathroom break as well, and we'll listen to some music. Hang on, puppy dog. Let's do the win and wiener. Or, no. Let's do, honestly.
Honestly, I'm feeling sweeter than ice cream and Skittles. Haven't tried, but bet I could learn the fiddle. If I'm too mean, choose the median, the middle. Oh, hang on, Umbreon, want some kibble? Here's a bit more from my brain, just a little. Reincarnating Kafka, cucumber to a pickle. When life gives you lemons, give life a little nibble. And a nickel, thanks life. What about you? Enough about me. Tell me what you do and where you wanna be. What about you? Do you have the time? Tell me your story and I'll tell you mine. So cool, I can make it snow in the Everglades, but I would never do that to the Everglades. Cause I love gators. Stars line up, write my name in the sky, and I've been thinking yours might look good beside it. Each time I blink, wish you could see my eyelids. We could go for miles, I don't care where the miles is. Sometimes I say too much, sometimes too little. Sometimes my lines don't rhyme and I think that's okay. What about you? Enough about me. Tell me what you do and where you wanna be. What about you? Do we have the time? I got a new plan, fresh blueprint, clear foundation. Feeling this frequency, please do not change the station. You and me, we could be the talk of the nation. Walk into any room, stand in ovation. Cause I've got big plans, you should try to see them. Look in your eyes, looking like you're trying to be them. But let's pull it back like I just reached for a new one. Folks can use equations, but don't know how to prove them. See, I'm trying to show the globe the code, going node to node. Shouts to Archibald, he got the kid involved. Now I can spread the word to the ones who wasn't called. Ops try to pull me apart like monkey bread, but I zombified the game, raise it from the dead. Do this, do that. Now I'm doing me instead. Last one on earth that you could spell out with a G-O to the A to the what? To the T. What about you? Enough about me. Tell me what you do and where you wanna be. What about you? Do we have the time? Tell me, babe, do you like red or white What about you? Enough about me. Tell me what you do and where you wanna be. What about you? Do we have the time? Tell me, babe, do you like red or white wine? Umbreon, dog with the long mane, short legs, but he top of the game. Eyes glisten, got that midnight flame. Tail wagging, bringing joy, no shame. Umbreon, Umbreon, heart so strong with you, I know I belong. Running through the night till dawn, life's a party, you my favorite song. Cruising the block, Lil King on the scene. Got that flow, smooth fur, look at me. In a world of pain, he's the serene Umbreon, always chasing the dream. Umbreon, Umbreon, heart so strong with you, I know I belong. Running through the night till dawn, life's a party, you my favorite song. Lil Coder in the house, bring the vibes. Umbreon's my dog, we live 9 lives. Code it up, roll it up, no disguise. Real recognize, real love never dies. Umbreon, Umbreon, heart so strong with you, I know I belong. Running through the night till dawn, life's a party, you my favorite Umbreon's my dog. We live 9 lives, code it up, roll it up, no disguise. Real recognize, real love never dies. Umbreon, Umbreon, heart so strong with you, I know I belong. Running through the night till dawn, life's a party, you my favorite song. I know you, big green type, large and in charge, muscle shining bright. Walking with a grit and one eye squint, big club, I show you it's worth every bit you told me. I'm a Nick and a hate and a hoe, a gawk but I cut a hole in your hole. A little swampy, I'm just trying to clean your closet, can't nobody top it. Forget all the ones that I met, ain't nobody made me do wrong, made me do sweat. Saying you gon' miss me, how could I forget? This might be hard to digest. Who's in there, who's in here? You might have to tell me twice, 'cause baby, I'm on thin ice. Who's in there, who's in here? You might have to tell me twice, 'cause baby, I'm on thin ice. Couldn't stop it when I found that solid boot, red and diesel blood flowing through my...
That one's crazy. That's like a Shrek song. The big green type. That one goes kind of hard. I like that. What's that one? Where is it? Baby, I'm on thin ice. That sounds like it feels like it sounds like another song. Is that like a stolen line? Who's in here? True. Let's see. Okay, Kaiser says, my next payday is around the 20th. I don't know if I get paid or not, if it's still shut down. I do believe we all have been told to keep 6 months of emergency funds by every financial person on earth. Yeah, sure. And I mean, good for you if you've been able to do that, right? Like, that's good. Like, obviously, everybody would be better off having 6 months of emergency funds than not having 6 months of emergency funds. But I don't think the question is necessarily whether or not you'd be better off if you did or don't. But it's whether or not you actually do is the issue. We have the E. Karen who wants to ban the whole internet. Who is that? I like this song. Which one? Kaiser says, AI music sucks, but what are we to do about it? I like it. I don't know. I understand a lot of the concerns. And, you know, we had a debate just the other day with my friend Ryan Goodwin, who is a musician, who also is currently he's training to be Shaggy at Universal Studios, which is super tight. Super proud of him. That's my dude. And we were kind of debating about the AI music implications and stuff. And I think we both made some good points regarding that. Fuzzy says, I like it for what it is. It doesn't beat going and getting an album of your favorite singer or seeing them in concert, I guess, because I've never been to a concert. Oh, really? I used to go to a lot of shows. That was like my shit when I was like in my early 20s. I was going to like every fucking pop punk show that came through Orlando. I was there. I would like anytime a band I like vaguely enjoyed was coming to town, I would look up all of I would find out like what their set list was, and I would learn all those songs, and then I would find out like all the set lists of all the bands who were playing and like get into all those songs too, so I could like sing every word and like scream in the crowd. I love that. Super energized. Oh, the Umbreon song is my favorite. The Umbreon song is great, yeah. Heart so strong with you, I know I belong. Lil King. Yeah, he is a Lil King. No Lil King. No Kings except for Umbreon and Z King. Which is, ironically enough, Umbreon and Espeon. The question is, did they need those Nikes and that Netflix subscription? I mean, I think people have other things that they're spending their money on. Like, I'm not saying people don't make bad financial choices. But I think that we overstate. Like, if somebody's like struggling financially, I think we instantly assume that they were. Oh, speaking of Z King, if someone is like in a bad financial situation, often a lot of people just assume that they like made like terrible decisions, and like to some degree that might be true. Like there could have been better decisions that they might have made at some point in their life that could have put them in a better position. But like, that doesn't mean that they're not like working hard and like doing their best at the given time. You know. I don't know. You want to get jaded? Maybe. Netflix like $18 now. That's crazy. Look up wage income inequality since Reagan. Oh man, I'm sure it's bad. Wage inequality or wage income inequality since Reagan versus house prices / wages. Wait, this already looks crazy. So wait, is the left side wages and then oh no, no. Wait, I'm a little confused. Cuz this looks like it looks like the ratio, at least in terms of this, like, it seems like the ratio hasn't actually changed all that much. Am I wrong? Am I like reading this wrong? Like from just a glance at this, it looks like maybe this median price for American home. Maybe because I went to Visual Capitalist. But is this data wrong? I feel like the takeaway that I would get from this is that it was never actually that reasonable for people to get a home, and it's like even less reasonable now. Like, it looks like this is like, I mean, look, what's the math here? Like, oh, Bubby boy. Hang on, I'm gonna let him in a second. Calculator. Wait, that's not what I wanted to do. Click images on Google. Wait, I think I just closed out of it all. Visual. It like keeps almost coming up. It's super annoying, actually. Yeah, it wasn't AI. I wasn't looking at AI. I was looking at some capitalist website though. Hang on. Well, come in then. In the hallway. Y'all want to see what a hallway pooper looks like? Say you're sorry to chat. I'm so growling. You're the reason I'm torturing myself right now. This guy pooped in the hallway. Basis on impression. Shame this dog. Shame this dog for pooping in the hallway. How dare you? Stay. Enjoy the continued Hassan impression while I clean up his shit. All right. We're back. We're back. Okay, wage stagnation in 9 charts illustrates it in a few more. Okay, that's what I'll look for. Wage stagnation in 9 charts. No, I think this is good stuff to know. I want to... Wait, is this one older? Number 1, the cost of inequality to middle-class households. This figure shows that the stakes of rising inequality for the broad American middle class are enormous. So let's see, household income of the broad middle class, actual and projected, assuming no growth in inequality. Okay, so this is the actual, and this was the projected. That's crazy. So not good. You got a StreamYard link? You want to come up, Growling? We can make one. Oh shit, Nuxus with the $2.99. Thank you, buddy. Hang on. Here. I will throw out a StreamYard link for anyone who wants to come up and chat. I could use some... Oh, wait. I just removed it on accident. What's up, Micah? Here, I'm going to pin this. Yeah, it would be great if people want to come up and help me entertain the masses so I don't have to do it all myself. Now there is a link. Thank you again, Nuxus, for meeting the goal. I will add a new goal. I called Ryan a slur to make this stream happen. That's actually true. Need a voice changer first to protect from the crazy right-wingers. I don't blame you, Polygraph. You're good. You're good. Oh, shit. Joseph. You were just lurking, waiting for the link. I see. How you doing?
Good. And you?
I'm doing okay. What's up?
I'm just here to maybe chat, debate a little bit. Listen.
All right. What's going on? What do you think? What do you think about the government shutdown?
I think it's silly.
You think it's silly?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's a good idea to leverage it. But somebody could always say, well, like, what in this case? Can we leverage it now?
Sure.
And that I just think it's silly. I don't think we should have one right now, but
Well,
we
yeah,
do.
I mean,
and points
Uncle
are going to
Bill.
be made. And
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Y'all can hear me?
yeah,
Yeah, we sure can.
All right,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure.
Long time no talk. How you doing?
Doing good. I mean, I heard about like all that fucking like. I'm sorry for cursing.
You can swear. It's fine. It's fucking great.
Bro, I've been like regretting my Trump vote like recently, bro. It's crazy.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. I didn't expect him to go so hard to the paint, like actually like violating the rules. You know what I mean? Hmm.
Look, I hate to say I told you so. I don't.
No,
I don't
you
want
did.
that to-
We had many conversations about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to like. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he definitely is like he really just doesn't seem to give a shit about the rules, right? I feel like all the people who were like raising raising the alarm, like myself included, like I think we even were like underestimating just how boldly he was gonna aggressively he was gonna
No,
Kinda handle things.
that's what hit me. Like this, the fact that he's doing it like this hard, especially with like the whole like how he's conducting ICE and shit.
yeah.
Like even if he's doing like what the conservatives want, it's like, well, he's doing it in a way to where like anybody who sues him is gonna lose. No, not sue him, but sue the government because he
Sure.
is breaking the laws, and you're not getting anything across if that's going to be the case.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I appreciate that perspective. You know, I've heard quite a few people, like a lot more people than I expected, saying similar things, and I will be honest, it feels good. Not even like and like I said, like the whole "I told you so" meme. Like it's not even about that. It's just like it's like a sanity check thing because there are obviously a lot of people who are still like, I mean, Joseph might even be one of these people who are just like continuing to gaslight and like pretend that that what's happening is all very normal, or like it's just like, you know, reciprocating whatever the Democrats allegedly did. So it's like I don't know, it's like it's relieving to hear takes like that.
can I give you a quick hypothetical?
Of course.
Go for it. Well, not much.
Do you believe in deterrence policy? So we can start basic
depends,
with like a DUI charge. So if you get a DUI, it's a hefty price. You lose your license for like a year, right? And we do that through deterrence policy. Do you guys believe in that?
Sure.
Yeah.
So how does it not follow?
Well, like, okay, here's why it doesn't follow, right? There's like scale of response, right? Like it might deter you from, I don't know, like saying mean things to me if I like punched you in the face every time you called me a douchebag or whatever. That might deter you, but like we wouldn't want that to be the policy of the we might want to disincentivize it through other means, you know?
No. I think we have policy that exacts a heavy consequence on people who break it, and the consequence is not fit for the crime; it's fit for deterrence. That's kind of my point.
Is that what you think Trump is doing? It's like he's making a deterrent.
Yes.
No, I kind of agree with that if the deterrent works, but if he's like doing it to a bunch of people who like do have rights and they are legal citizens, then they're just gonna be able to sue the fuck out of the government, and all they do is just get billions in their bag.
I don't think he's trying to do anything illegal. I think once you know, say what you want about Trump, but like listen to him talk. He's like, "Oh, we'll see when it hits the Supreme Court, they'll agree with me," and they don't always do.
But that's what he's
They
banking
have a
on.
lot,
The Supreme
but I
Court
don't.
will agree with him. He doesn't
finish
know
my
if they
point.
will. He's banking on it.
To finish my point, I don't think he's some type of henchman right now, you know, twisting his brows and saying like, "I'm going to circumvent the law." I think he's just trying to, you know, do what he can, I suppose. So,
Bro, I doubt he knows the law. I mean, if I was in his position, I was like, yo, I'm just gonna wave my dick around.
He's a New York business mogul. All right, he's not.
Yeah, and the New York model is, hey, do whatever you can until you get stopped, right?
Yeah, literally. That's been like Trump's whole business model for his whole life.
There's a lot of shit talk on him for being that way, but that's one of the most endearing qualities. And Like his enemies rarely admit it, but at least he is honest and very transparent. Takes questions from people all the time, tells them what he's thinking. Isn't that refreshing,
I don't
Ryan?
think
To have
it
a
is
yeah,
refreshing.
politician
honest.
actually
That's
be
why I
that
voted for him in like
honest.
2016.
They're not hiding anything. He's like, oh yeah, these
Of
people.
course he is. Wait, did you believe him that he didn't know what Project 2025 was?
Yeah, I don't believe he fucking read all that shit, dude.
No, I don't.
I
I'm not
don't
saying
know.
he didn't. I'm not saying he read it, but like, do you think he actually had no clue what was going on? Like that, like he wasn't working with the Heritage Foundation to like plan on enacting those things. Like all of the executive orders that they've been doing since day one have been basically direct from that playbook. Like, and he put Russ Vought, who wrote Chapter 2 of Project 2025. He put them in charge of the. Wait, what's the? I always want to make sure I get the exact title. He's the director of the United States Office of Management and Budget. Like, this is the guy who wrote Chapter 2 of Project 2025, and Trump immediately put him as the director of the U.S. Office of Management and Budget. Like,
Ryan, I don't know
yeah.
what any of that means. Can you explain that?
Okay, so Project 2025 is a Heritage Foundation project.
No, not part of Charge 2025. What you just said earlier about the dude who he's putting in charge. Why is that important?
Well, it's like, I mean, think about the words that I'm saying, right? Just the U.S. Office of Management and Budget. So managing what? Budgeting what? The U.S. government, right? So he's an American government official.
Why is it bad if that particular dude is in there?
Well,
Like, why is the dude that? Tell me.
Yeah. Well, okay. Number one because he's a Christian nationalist. Number one because he's a Christian nationalist, which is scary in and of itself.
But that's based.
Yeah, of course it is. So that's bad for anyone who's not a Christian nationalist. It might be based
a fascist.
For,
Ryan, is he a fascist?
Christian nationalism is a fascist movement. Yes. So yeah.
So probably. He's a fascist as well. So yeah, there's probably, a fascist in government. It was what Ryan.
There's quite a few of them, dude. Right now, yeah. There's actually a lot of fascists in the government right now, more than ever.
Bro, he's not a fascist because if Xi Jinping does the same stuff, and y'all don't call him a fascist. He does.
I probably would. I probably would call Xi Jinping a fascist. What do you mean?
He's not. He's a communist. He's a Maoist. Maoist is the same thing as a fucking fascist, bro.
I mean, I might agree. I don't know if about like specifics of Chinese like government and stuff.
You know, Ryan, if we get our way,
I thought Stalin.
Buy a house,
I thought Stalin was like a fascistic figure as well. Like so.
No, he's communist. That's the problem, you guys. That's the problem that you lefties do is that you put all authoritarianism into fascism. And it's like no, communism does the exact same thing, and it says it does the exact same thing.
Okay, well, I would say that people who are enacting communism through fascistic means are doing a different project than what I.
It's not fascistic; they're communists. It's the left It's the left wing version of communism.
But if it's still like an authoritarian, ultra-nationalist project, then it's still a fascist project.
Ryan, do you think that Too Big to Fail is bipartisan in our country?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Banker bailouts.
I mean, like, banks are deeply integrated.
We set a precedent.
When you say too big to fail, you're talking about how the banks are like deeply integrated into our economy, and that if we let them fail, then there would be a lot of like rippling consequences. Yeah, I think that's a real
I'm talking about the history and then the policy that is set forward when it comes to mismanagement through the banking system.
What about it?
Do you believe in it? Do you think that it's good that it's bipartisan? What are your views on it?
Yeah, probably. There's probably like Democrats and Republicans who have contributed to like getting us to this point where those groups have like way more power than they probably should.
So you defend Too Big to Fail? You think that's the correct philosophy?
I'm being descriptive. Right? I'm being descriptive right now. Like I'm talking about just the reality we live in. I'm not defending.
Well, I'm asking you what you think about it.
I mean, like it's suboptimal to say the least. Like I don't know. I if I could go back in time, I don't know exactly what I would do, but I would like
it bipartisan?
To some degree, yeah.
Okay, so like, what is your fucking issue when it comes to the dichotomy between the two parties? Clearly, you understand at the very root of the problem, it's bipartisan. Like, why are Republicans so much worse off? Because they're trying to hold on to some type of semblance of shared tradition of people. Like, what is it really? I don't get it.
So one of the things I don't like about the Republicans right now is that they have embraced a cult in the MAGA movement, in Donald Trump, a cult who doesn't care about the rule of law and doesn't give a shit and puts like loyalists in positions everywhere. I think even like a moderate Republican would be like a lot better than what we have right now with Donald Trump. So
you think they're a cult?
Yes.
Any evidence or anything to go along with that?
Or is that a joke?
I think that the Republican MAGA Party has been the most well, for me, clearly the most schismatic party I've ever seen in my lifetime. But I'm only in my mid-30s, so maybe
Mhm.
it was more schismatic back in the day. But if I were to take it and compare it to the Democratic Party, yes. So if you want to talk about uniformity under some flag of fascism, or like everybody's kumbayaing over in the Republican Party, that hasn't been the case since 2015. And it's clear. You can look at the current news cycle right now that's talking about Epstein nonstop. Why? Because it's schismatic within the Republican Party. Democrats don't care about it.
Republicans don't care about it either.
The entire fucking mainstream news cycle, maybe it's not so much now the case, but it was maybe 3 4 weeks ago. It was all
Republicans will
Epstein
play like
for
Republicans
two
will.
weeks solid. It's
Yeah, but
it's on the
Trump's like in
heels of
league
a
with that.
schismatic Republican Party. They know that.
Okay,
They're only
Joseph,
running
don't,
the
you've
news
gone on
because they
for a
had
while.
nothing better
Let's
to
let
do.
growling in.
No, I'm saying that
Sorry,
like
go
Trump's like
ahead.
is on
My
the same
bad.
page as like the current establishment, bro. So how is he any different?
No, the point is Ryan was trying to say that Republican Party is some type of uniformed movement. It's not.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying MAGA is. I
It's
don't think
never
MAGA. I
been.
don't think MAGA makes up the majority of the Republican Party even. I think a lot of the Republicans in Congress right now are even like several of them have commented on this, saying that like they're like scared to detract from Trump's goals because they know that he'll absolutely blast them and that like their voters are in his cult.
Yep, that's politics, though. You call it cult, I'll call it politics, and I would say it would be
Yeah,
Do you think
politics
Joe
under
Biden was a
Biden
cult
as
leader?
well. No, I don't think he's a fucking cult leader. Well,
I mean, Democrats were
no, I
extremely
don't.
critical of
But
Joe Biden, like all throughout.
you
I
could
mean,
say there's cultish tendencies on both wings. You could say QAnon, people who really believe like, oh, this can't be real, and then they start drawing whatever. It's on both sides. But as a general movement within the U.S. over the past 6 years, it's going Republican, 100%.
wait, what's going? I'm sorry, I think I missed part of that. What's going Republican?
Political movement among the younger generation.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I would say there's a lot of propaganda that's feeding into that, but yeah, I would agree that's happening.
Everything's propaganda when it's political, correct?
Um, to some degree. I mean,
Yeah. So
like, I mean, I
is
would
there
say there's a
really
lot
a
of
bad
like,
word?
and sorry, instead of saying propaganda, because I agree with a neutral definition of propaganda, I would say disinformation, like lies, is what I'm referring to.
Oh, we're
Lies that are
lying.
being fed. Yes,
We're
yes,
lying to
lots of
people.
yes, very much so. Yeah, absolutely.
Ryan, do you think it is the correct moral disposition when you're engaging with somebody who views themselves as a woman and to give them that type of social acceptance when talking to them
Yeah, but I
through
also
pronouns
because of
or
my
whatever other type of thing?
because I've developed and like deconstructed my understanding of gender and sex in a lot of ways, I agree with their assessment of themselves as a woman. It's not just that I don't lie about it. I actually believe that like trans women are women, like definitionally. We're just saying something different. I'm not saying that
Okay.
I believe trans women are
Okay.
like biological female. That's a different statement than what I'm saying when I say trans
Well,
women are
let
women.
me. That's fine. If you are full blown in that camp, it's okay.
Yeah,
Let me
because I learned
rephrase
about
it a
it and I
little bit.
understand what they're saying. That's why I'm in that camp.
It doesn't make you right, but let me
I,
rephrase
I
this
guess that
because
doesn't,
I
but like
don't want
I
to.
believe that I'm right. I don't think I'm like a I don't think I'm just like I think I like actually thought about it and like argued about it with even with myself for a long time before I came to that conclusion.
I don't want to get into a definitions thing with you. I think you and I would both agree that the fact that if we would call somebody a trans woman, that is an implicit omission that there is a there is something that differentiates those two
Do you
things,
think
right?
Swiss cheese is cheese? Is skim milk
So
milk?
why I say that is to say that
Wait,
we both
do
understand.
so? Hang on, because what you just said was that the modifier like states is actually implying a contradiction between like what the actual like noun means, but that's obviously not how language works, right? Based on my
No,
Swiss cheese
no, how
example.
language works is that if you use that phrase colloquially and you're a part of the culture for fucking 5, 10 years, you understand that. that word is being used because it differentiates from something else.
Yes, it
That's an
differentiates from
implicit
cis women,
omission,
from
Ryan.
cisgender women.
Hold on,
Yes,
hold on. It's
yes,
an implicit
I agree.
omission.
And how does it tie into
Trans
Trump,
women.
though?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's a good point. This has nothing to do with Trump.
I don't know
How do
why
we get
you're
to
getting
trans?
triggered.
Why do you guys always get us to fucking trans topics? You guys think about girl dick
Why are
so
you getting
much.
triggered
God
by
damn.
this? So simple. It's an implicit omission, which means that you understand that this one thing is different from another. That's all I'm saying. And that is something that is understood by everybody in our country. And that's understood. We know it's understood because they use it.
I still don't understand what point you're making. Like, yes, I agree. Trans woman refers to something different than cisgender women. Like, it's differentiating between those things. That's what's happening. And I don't know. I don't understand why this is relevant to the Trump conversation either.
Yeah, well, we can move back to that. We don't need to relitigate, but
Hey, Joseph, what did you vote for Trump for? Like, what was the thing that like appealed to you?
the number one thing that scares me in politics is when people start talking about controlling speech. Like I need to be afraid of my thoughts and saying them out loud.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been my red line. I won't say that there's been some Jewish shit that the Republicans have been talking about that scared me as well, but
Wait, can we JQ here?
all
Hey,
in
Ryan, can we
all,
JQ?
when you look at
I'd say
liberal policy
easy
in
on the JQ. Look,
America,
I'm
what
critical
the
of Israel, but
rhetoric
not
has
because
I'll
they're
been,
respect your
Jewish,
platform.
right?
I'll
what the
respect your
rhetoric
platform. I'll
has
respect your
been,
platform.
what
Slow
the
down.
rhetoric has been, and then also what you've seen from liberal democracies throughout Europe, it's all been going one way. Ryan, you can sit here and try to pretend like you got some type of defense for it, but you're not going to win.
I just
You know what
It's
sucks about
scary as
that?
hell,
Trump
and you
ran
should
on that
not sit there
platform,
and
and then he
defend it.
totally
It's
sold out
fucking
to like Israel and
terrifying.
Netanyahu, bro.
No, it doesn't matter. We have people here in our homeland who are trying to say you can't say stuff. It's
yeah.
hateful.
And Trump saying the
Yeah, and
same thing about
it's
like if
Donald
you're going
Trump.
against
It's Trump.
Israel.
Trump is the
Yeah,
one literally
he
deporting people
portrayed
for
that.
talking positive about Gaza and criticizing Israel's genocide in Gaza. Trump's the one deporting people for that.
They're
You're
not
concerned about
American
free speech?
citizens. I defend his
They
right to
are
say,
a
like, if you're
majority of
out
them
here and
are a
you're
majority of them
touting,
are, bro.
No,
you're
they're at
touting.
least
Fucking
oftentimes they're green card holders, or they're people who are here legally. Like you might say they're not American
Ryan,
citizens,
you
but
can say
they
you
still
can
have
say
first.
that
Hang on,
they.
dude. I've been sitting here listening to you
Sorry,
monologue,
go ahead.
right?
Go ahead.
Like
Go
these
ahead.
are people who are here legally. These are people who have First Amendment rights through the Constitution. And
And
you just said that was your
even
big
if you
fucking.
exclude
Hang on,
those,
growling.
like
Hang
y'all
on.
remember like
Hang on. No, you
ICE
fucking hang on, growling. Goddamn.
Okay.
These are people. You just said your fucking red line was free speech and like freedom, and now Trump is literally coming down on that. Like, how do you defend this? Sorry, go ahead, guys.
I agree with you, Ryan. I thought I threw. Hopefully, you heard the caveat I threw in at the end where I said that they've been doing this with Israel, and I'm not happy with any of it. Did you hear that part?
I guess I did miss that part. Do you regret? Do you think that Kamala Harris would be as bad or worse than what we are dealing with
I
right
think
now?
they would be. I don't know.
If you had to
I wouldn't
guess,
have voted for
honest.
Kamala Harris because she
Let's
she
be
would go
honest,
after the gun. She would go
but-
after the Second Amendment. She was
she
I'll-
was
very
a
I'll-
gun
pro-Second
owner.
Amendment.
She's a fucking gun owner.
If you want to hear,
they're called fuzz. They can be
if
a
you
gun
wanna
owner, but
hear-
still be against
listen.
like everybody holding else having
my
guns.
God.
Like of course,
I'll
like her
tell you
as an
this
elite,
much.
she's like, oh yeah, I'm
You-
for myself having guns. But
You
not
think
anybody else.
Kamala
Hold on.
was gonna? You think Kamala
Hold on,
was against
Kitty.
people having guns?
I'll tell you this. My
think
fear
she
for
was.
it was that they would kind of follow the European style of implementing slowly speech laws to some degree. And I think that I'm more pragmatic than a lot of people who just watch Fox News. So if you want to think about the mainstream view of it, yeah, it's really scary.
Yeah,
The problem is
especially
that both parties
right
are
now.
attacking our speech right now. Like, yeah, it used to be the left, like who was really going hard at the paint, but now it's Trump being like,
No,
if you
no,
speak
no,
against
listen.
Israel, you're
Bondi,
donezo.
Pam Bondi did an interview on Fox where she said that there is no right to hate speech. And then Trump, I think, had two separate media interactions where he condoned her actions. And then they fucking ran it back. You can talk shit on Trump all day long, but what you cannot say is that he's not reactive to the base. He got thoroughly rejected and he fucking stopped. And it's the same thing with Israel right now. It's
I'm
Ukraine,
not saying
same.
that with how he's targeting like American citizens and colleges by stopping their ability to speak about Israel. Like he's for that stuff too. He's for
No,
like
they're not
restricting your free
American
speech.
citizens.
No, the majority of them are, bro. Remember like
They're
when
no, they're not.
recently, you know when they raided like
No,
that whole
you're
Chicago apartment
saying they
building?
are, but
It's
they're
a
not.
cough
No,
drop,
but they
Christine.
are. They factually are. Like yes, there could be like 30% of them that weren't,
There's
but
no
the
American
majority of them
citizens.
are. And I'm not counting the green card holders. I'm like, no,
There's no American
they're
citizens
stopping
getting
over
kicked
people who
off of
happen to
U.S.
look Mexican,
campuses for
but they
saying they
are
think that
U.S.
what's happening
citizens.
in Gaza is a genocide. It's not happening. You
It's
need to
happening in our
stop.
colleges. It happened to Columbia
No,
College,
it's
bro.
not. It's
It happened
happening to
to
people who
Columbia
are
University.
not
That's what it
American
was. It happened
citizens.
there.
No, you're wrong. Where okay, at least provide a resource. I'll look at it quick. Go ahead.
So you don't believe it's happening?
And maybe I don't know. I'm not going to say 100% you're wrong, but
No, but you are. I
you're
can't engage
saying
with you
that they're
if you're just gonna invalidate everything I say. Like, yo, this is happening. You're like, nope, I don't believe it.
okay. Specifically, you're saying that they're kicking U.S. citizens out of college for
Both out of
anti-Semitism.
college and like I'm pointing to like when they raided that like Chicago apartment building. Yes, the majority of those people were U.S. citizens. Yeah, there was two people who were like gang members of like this like it was either Nicaraguan or like Venezuelan like gang members, but there was only two of them in there. But the rest of that entire apartment building, they were U.S. citizens.
So there's like no U.S. citizens getting wrapped up in it, and the few that were probably
They got
had
detained. Yeah, no, they got detained. That's what I'm telling you. They got
well,
detained,
detained
and
is a matter of 30 minutes. What is that? A minor inconvenience?
they still shouldn't be allowed to do it, bro.
Why not?
Because it's within our laws. Like legitimately, it's within our laws. They're not supposed to do that. Like, yeah, we can have an argument with like, oh yeah, well we should just say fuck the laws, and he should and I agree with you, yeah, fuck the laws. But that's not the case of like if you're gonna argue pro law, yeah, he did violate the law on that point.
This is like saying that cops shouldn't have the ability to pull someone over. It's the old adage, like, oh, they'll say anything. You know, you swerved, right? They shouldn't have the ability to profile you at that point. But it's nonsensical.
They should on the basis of your race, yes.
100% nonsensical.
Especially if they're saying that like, hey, we suspect you of being illegal, and then you're not illegal, but it's like, hey, but we pulled you over, and then we found out you had a gun in your car, right? Hey, I'm pro Second Amendment. And that's kind of fucked up. Like just because I have a gun in my car, then they pulled me over for thinking that I'm illegal. Then now I'm arrested for having a gun in my car. Isn't that fucked up?
Well, it's fucked
I
up
think
if
it's
you
fucked up.
illegally own a gun. Sure.
That's what's happening.
Sorry, go ahead.
So Zeke 1000 in the chat says, Ryan, can you please relay this to Joseph the idiot? Which I think is you, Joseph. He says, everyone has the right to freedom of speech. Not everyone has the right to escape the consequences that come with that right. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really appreciating being called stupid and idiot so much. It's kind of
Yeah.
taking its toll
To be fair,
here, but
I don't like that the whole like freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences. No, Mexico does the same shit where it's like Mexico has free speech technically, right? But what the cartels are doing is like if you exercise that free speech against the cartels, they kill your ass. No, that's wrong. We shouldn't have private citizens killing each other or like threatening each other just because you have free speech, because that's what the cartel is doing in Mexico right now, and that's why no one can speak there.
can you reread the question?
I guess it wasn't a question. It was just a statement. Unless you're asking Growling to relay a question. Are you asking me to reread the message?
The guy made a statement that like, oh,
No,
well,
no,
freedom,
no,
because
no.
I heard this a lot from lefties. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences. Like, oh, okay, then do you really have speech if like there's a force around you that's willing to kill you, that's extrajudicial, meaning outside the government, that's willing to kill you if you exercise that
Well,
speech? No, that's fucked up.
even on top of that, it's like no one's sitting there making the case that if you say something and you hurt somebody, it's not going to have a consequence. Like you say something to someone and their family catches on, and their family's like, how could you hurt somebody I care about this much? And then it permeates in the community. Like everybody fucking knows this at their core. So the entire argument just so exhausting. You know what I mean?
No, and I get you, and that's why
We
I
know
did
that,
target
like,
lefties for that,
everyone.
because like they're straight up being like, oh well, if you say a wrong thing, but I beat you up for it, well, freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequence. It's like, but that's how Mexico does it, and it's fucking hell over there
Well, I guess like
because
to
of that.
that point specifically, like I think that the point that's made often in that context is like, well, that person who like might beat someone up for like saying something. First of all, Z King, you absolutely can call in. There's a link pinned, and we would love to have you up. But like, what people are saying is like, well, yeah, somebody might like react emotionally or whatever to you saying some crazy shit, and they might hit you, and then you, like, so you're not free from those consequences. But also, that person who hit you is not free from the consequences of the legal repercussions that come from assaulting somebody who just like says some cringe shit. Although I guess there are some categories of speech that qualify as like escalatory. I don't know the exact language like legally, but there are certain things that people can say that like can be insightful of violence, right? So there's a little
Sure.
bit of there's a line.
There's also a philosophy that you ought not be able to inflict irreversible harm on my body, right? So
Sure, which is why I'm saying that like if somebody does that, then the
how
law
do you
is going
juggle
to.
that, Ryan? You
What
know?
do you mean juggle that? Like I literally just said if someone assaults someone like after because they said some cringe shit about like if someone walks if so, like let's say someone walks up to me and they're like your mom's a hoe and then I like deck them in the face like I'm still
That's
probably gonna
not
catch a
what I'm
charge.
talking about,
Okay,
Ryan.
I don't
What I'm
understand then.
talking
Yeah.
about is ending a threat because you're not allowed to impose irreparable harm on my body. So if you um, create a threat, you ought to have that response. That's what I'm asking.
I'm still not sure I understand the question. I'm sorry.
Like, do you believe that ought to be the way we should do it?
Can you restate it once more? I apologize. I'm trying to follow you. I really am. I don't understand the question.
Can I say that most
Let
lefties
me,
do
let
agree
me,
with that
I,
position that like if you say something that upsets them, they believe that like they should have the right to like not the right, but they're going to assault you, and that's like culturally okay. Not legally, they're not arguing legally, but they're arguing culturally. That's okay.
well, for instance, there's a lot of states who say you have a duty to retreat. So even if you're in your own home, if you do kill
Mhm.
somebody, but you couldn't sufficiently prove that you had another way to get away from the situation, and you know what I mean? That you could be held for charge on murder or something. I don't even know what that would be, man, whatever. But that's protection doctrine. So are you liberal on that, or what do you feel? Do you think that people like if you break into my if a person were to break into a house and do whatever, who knows? But it's not
It,
up to the
They're not talking
if
about
you
homeowners.
breaking
break if
into
you
a
break
house. They're talking about like let's say I'm a
It's
black
not
guy.
up to the
You
homeowners to
say the
have to
N word.
discern. Sorry, go ahead.
They're not talking about like breaking into houses. They're talking about like if I'm a black guy, you say the N word. Well, freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences. So I go over there and deck you. You believe that's not right, as I do, as well,
I think
right?
I should have the
yeah.
ability to kill you if you impose
No, no,
violence.
no.
So,
Agreed.
like,
That's
if
why
you
like this
if
type
you
of like
come up
thought
to
process doesn't
me
work
and
because it's like, well, if everyone's able to have a gun, like what do you expect?
well,
And
no, what
the
I'm
reason why
saying
I
is
bring up
that
Mexico is that like Mexico controls a lot of like the Mexican cartels control all the media. If you speak, a lot of journalists are afraid to talk about against the Mexican cartels. Why? Because it's not the government going after them; it's the
Yeah.
cartels.
my
And
point
if
is
you
that
have a
you
culture,
you don't.
if you
Well,
have a
hold on.
culture like that, it suppresses free speech, even if it's outside of the judicial. Or I say judicial because that means like what the law is, right?
Am I
And
crazy?
we
Like
should
I'm
we
just having
ought
a
not
really hard
have
time following what Joseph is
that
fucking saying.
standard.
Can someone we need to get a translator up here?
Right. All I was trying to get at with that is you don't get to go and configure somebody else's body and have some type of expectation of safety. I think people ought to be able to use every means they have to stop you, and if that involves death, so be it. That's my point. You don't
And
get
I
to
agree
go
with you,
up and
and that's where
start
ultimately
putting
like
your hands on
that liberal thought
people.
process ends up being. And but they're
Well,
not
I'm
thinking
just
that far ahead.
Wait,
No, because if you don't have that,
Wait,
then
I
you don't
agree.
have
Wait,
any
wait a minute.
type
Okay,
of
wait,
protection status within the country.
wait. So
So
wait. Are you? So
people
you
ought to
guys?
be able to protect
Oh,
themselves.
why? Is my mic muted? Okay, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I
Sorry,
hear
go
you.
ahead.
Yeah, I
What's
thought
going on,
so.
Ryan?
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like we've jumped between a lot of different things, but like,
We
we're
did.
talking. Yeah, we're talking about the concept of somebody like saying something offensive to you, and then that person who was offended upon starts punching. And Joseph, you're saying that you should be able to respond to that punch with lethal force. Is that basically what we're talking about?
Well, yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Yes.
So wait.
He does have the
I
ability
agree.
to do
I
that.
agree to some degree. But I think something that we have to consider here. Also, welcome Tessie Johnson. Happy to have you here. Like
Yo,
I
Testy,
think.
what's up, my dude?
Yeah. Hell
What's
yeah.
up?
Just to complete my
Hello,
thought here,
hello.
and then I'll let you guys go. Like I think if let's say you're a black person, and then like let's say I run up to a black person, I get in their face, and I start screaming the N-word at them. I think that person probably has some reason to fear that I'm about to escalate into violence.
Yeah, but what happens if that black person knows that you're armed and they're not?
Well, that's I guess that's exactly what I'm pushing at here. Is it like what we are like what Joseph's prescription is? Is it like if somebody goes up into a black person, like some random unarmed black person, they start screaming the N-word in their face, and then if that black person reacts, then suddenly now they're like executing them because they
I
react.
don't think
No,
that's
it's not an
equivalent,
execution,
Ryan.
bro. I'm a gun owner as well. If someone calls me a pussy, I'm just gonna have to like accept that and move on with my day. Why?
No, I
Because
agree.
if I have
Hang
a gun-
on, real quick. I'm not just saying they just
hold
like.
on. I want to add on.
No,
top
no,
of that,
I'm gonna.
also
It's my fucking panel. I'm gonna talk. All right.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
So I'm saying that if I'm not just saying they're like from across the room, they're like, hey, you're a pussy, and then you shoot. I'm not talking. Nobody's fucking talking about that. I'm talking about somebody getting up in your face and screaming the N-word at you. I think in that situation, I'm not saying the right thing to do is to respond with violence, but I am saying there is reason to believe that this person is probably like potentially about to start swinging on you. And so like we do have to discuss like whether or not like you are in a right to like start like preempt that violence. I think that is something to consider, right?
Well, the difference is if I'm screaming the N-word and then I'm attacking that person, yeah, they have to defend themselves, right? And even if I'm armed, I'm attacking them. Like, yeah, like what else do they have to do if I'm cornering them? But if you're a gun owner and someone calls you a pussy, you're just gonna have to like suck it up because guess what? You have like the more force than they do, and that's how the courts and the jury is gonna look at it always.
Yeah, I had one thing to add. That's why I jumped in. I think it was something Joseph mentioned like maybe a couple minutes ago, but just in actually, how's my audio? Is it decent?
You sound good, buddy.
All right, cool. No, just in terms of the duty to retreat or whatever, because I know some states do have that. I don't believe that applies in your own home. I think that's for like public spaces. So like you have to there is to be some reasonable.
I'm from Minnesota. Just to stop you real quick, I'm from Minnesota, and in Minnesota, I can say as a authority that it does apply.
Okay.
So you have to retreat from your own home. If you have children and stuff like that, it becomes complicated. I think the jury would be favorable if you would not retreat, defending your own children. But you're going to court and you're going to have to say, well, this person was imposing on me, had a ski mask, I was scared.
Yeah.
It becomes a defense. It's a de facto.
No, I understand that. No, I was just gonna say, but I think that's like if somebody breaks in your home, you can't just like shoot them, or like if you shoot somebody in the back, or like in most places, there needs to be some like you need to prove that there was some like level of threat or that you felt threatened. So I agree with you, but in terms of the duty to retreat, like I don't think you're expected to like flee your home if someone breaks in.
Yes, you are.
It depends on the state.
Okay. No, I'll take that at face value. I could be wrong on that.
At least in Minnesota, you're wrong, but I think it's about maybe 7 or 8 other states who have the same policy. A lot of them are on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I do disagree with
Z King,
that.
correct me on this. In Texas, you can stand your ground. In Texas, you can be like, "Hey, yo, you're pressing me," and then they're attacking you and just bop.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a lot more.
It's standard around here.
The argument is like, well, who knows? Maybe you have, someone that comes in your house, and we shouldn't. It's just such a weird policy because you should be able to protect your own home. You don't. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but
It's
that's
so
like
fucking
private
weird
property,
that people
like,
want to
defense
restrict
of
it.
property versus the defense of life. But although somebody's breaking in,
Yeah.
which it could be at risk, right? So there are a bunch of gray areas there.
Having a retreat from your home is just wild to me.
I do
I'll
disagree
never
with that.
understand it.
Yeah, but yeah, on
I agree.
a more principle level. I do think that there are like probably places where you have stand your ground laws. There's probably I don't know the stats on this, but there might be more incentive to escalate because you know that you have that legal protection. So I could see that leading to potentially more conflict, which is probably not good. But I don't know how these things pan out, like in the courts.
Yeah, I would guess it's never the same case twice, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyways, I didn't mean to derail whatever you guys are going off of, but I just wanted to add
No,
that.
that was great.
No,
Oh, well, we love you,
yeah,
Tessie. At least I
Oh,
love you. No homo.
yeah. You're welcome here
I actually
anytime.
jumped on. I actually jumped on because I wanted to rehash an earlier topic because it's something I hear a lot that annoys me because it's not true at all. The idea that Trump is this honest guy and he's not a liar. He's obviously a prolific liar, but he's not an honest person at all. And I'm going to dispel this myth and also elaborate on why people think he's an honest person. Donald Trump is not honest. He's shameless. He has no shame about himself. That's why he's quote unquote open about a lot of things because he doesn't really care that much what other people are saying. Well, he does care what people are saying, but only to the degree that he can't control the narrative. So the problem is people think he's honest just because he has no shame and he's open about a lot of things that he says and he's like pretty unhinged, no filter. But this idea that he's this like super honest guy because of that is fucking crazy to me when he lies constantly.
Can I ask you a question for a quick rebuttal?
Sure.
Is he doing what the people voted him in? Is he doing what they want?
Some of it.
I think he's doing that and more. Like,
A lot more.
I mean, he's kind of dropped the narrative about conquering Canada and buying Greenland, but that was one of those campaign things that like he never mentioned it on the campaign trail. And as soon as he's in within the first month, he's like, yeah, you know, like maybe we'll make him the 51st state. Like, what? So he seems like he just throws everything at the wall and kind of sees what sticks. And I think that's like, it feels like he's just fumbling in the dark a lot of the time.
Yeah, I don't think he's necessarily maliciously lying. I just think he's dumb.
Yeah, it's more an
well, no, it's both. He lies and he's dumb.
Yeah.
That's not mutually exclusive.
I
Yeah,
actually don't think he's like.
You know?
I think he's dumb in some ways, but I think he's adept at what he's doing. He knows like how to navigate his position in reality.
good at
I think he weaponizes how dumb he is. Let's say that much.
Yes, I agree with that.
No, he
entertainer.
doesn't.
He was like a TV
Don't give him
personality.
too much credit.
No, he knows how to work a crowd. Like, say what you want, he's always in the news cycle. Like every single day, you could Google something, and something has happened now with the Trump administration. He just knows how to like get headlines, and it can be holding a crazy.
He's a New York shit talker. That's what he is.
Well, he's
And
just used to attention.
He found ground in the
What's
Republican Party, and for some reason, he's our avatar right now. That's all.
Why do you think Trump was more fit as a leader in a Republican Party than the Democrat Party?
I'm sorry.
Why, so Trump was like a lot of people point this out that Trump was like a lifelong Democrat in many ways, right? Like he hung out in like Democrat circles for a long time. He's friends with. I think he went to the wedding of like Bill and Hillary Clinton. You know, like he's been friends with a lot of these people for a long time. He's been I think he was even registered like as a Democrat. So why do you think he's become a symbol more? Like why do you think he was so prolific in joining politics through the Republican Party than the Democrat Party, given his history?
I would say primarily it's because that was the logical route to winning the ticket. But on top of that, I think Trump
that's what I'm asking about. Why was that the optimal route to getting on the ticket? Like why that is? I'm not even necessarily saying I'm not like trying to ask a leading question here. I don't know if I have like a really succinct answer. It's a line of questioning that I'm really curious.
Why do I? Yeah, that's fair. Do you remember 2016, Ryan? Do you remember how Hillary cleared the bench during that?
What do you mean cleared the bench?
During the primary season?
I think there was some things that I was more critical of at the time when I had a lesser understanding of the political landscape. But I mean, I think Bernie just truly didn't have the support that I even in my heart of hearts wanted him to have or felt he had.
Okay. I guess I don't know. I'm reticent to get into the deeper like shit fuckery that goes on during those campaigns. But are you essentially what you're asking me is why did he run as a Republican?
Not exactly. I'm asking, why do you think the Republican Party was so like? And this, I mean, anyone can engage with this. Again, it's kind of an open question. I'm thinking about like, why was the Republican Party so much more fertile for what Trump was selling than the Democrat Party?
If you're asking why I voted for him, well, he represents my interest.
Anti-progressivism in a nutshell. But go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
He represented my interests at the time.
What were your interests at the time?
We do need to be more strict on immigration. He was against the woke shit and like going against that woke shit, and like we can see that right now with like how like Elon bought Twitter and like made it more of like a fair ground for Republicans, but obviously that like backfired because now he's being like pro, like if you're against the Jewish state, then you don't get to be on Twitter or whatever. So that backfired.
I see it a bit more broadly. Like, I'm trying to think why he ran. I think that like there was a bit of a populist, not uprising, but like populism was a lot more powerful. Of like that idea of quote unquote draining the swamp, and like he appealed really well to people who are just like, you've been getting fucked over for the last decade, 20 years. These elites don't care about you. Like that type of rhetoric was extremely popular, and Bernie's been kind of banging.
He was
like a similar type.
He was right there with him too when he was spewing that rhetoric. You know, he's like, "Fuck these people."
Yeah, and they'd gotten off the back of like, there was like that Tea Party stuff. I think that was, I don't remember exactly now, but there was like this push about like small government, and like that was more on the rise, like that narrative from the Republican Party. So I think that it was like a lot of luck. Like he sort of slotted in at the right time.
I was just about to say, I think it's a cheesy answer, but he was literally at the right place at the right time. Because also around that time, I believe the internet played a big role in this, because this was like the era of like, cancel culture, people getting exposed, like that. People were craving authenticity like crazy, and like seeing someone so unconventional like Donald Trump was really attractive to a lot of people. And combined with the rise in populism, I think the internet just like really helps that.
I'll say this as a forecast. I think you guys are lucky that you have Trump having so much fun being a lame duck right now as he is. The cheeky memes and stuff like that coming out are great.
Yeah, but that's every Republican. They've always been a lame duck.
Well, I mean, you have.
Do you mean like
I don't know. I think just be careful with the 3 years that you have coming in front of you. There's a lot of stuff going globally.
Yeah, but what happens after the 3 years?
Fun to talk about.
Joseph, what happens after the 3 years? And you know how the Supreme Court said that basically like the president can do whatever he wants without any legal recourse? What do you think happens after Trump?
Well, what I think happens during Trump is that we force ourselves correctly.
Yeah, what happens after? What happens if a Democrat comes in with the same freedoms that the Democrat that Donald Trump has and uses it against us?
What happens after him?
Yes.
This chainsaw enemy guy is fucking crazy.
I think we're in a different landscape.
I guess
I don't know.
Yeah, because you fucked it up.
That's what I'm telling you.
Ground pounding the fucking government.
like Trump, I think is like. I mean, I won't get super into like the emotionally charged rhetoric, but like I do think he leans pretty heavily authoritarian. But like, yeah, for me, I don't think that he's clueless. He's not like a complete fucking moron that he portrays himself.
True.
I think he's smart in the ways that he has to be smart. But yeah, the education for me has always been what happens when someone competent then takes that position, because now all of these like fractures have formed, and they can effectively they have more of a a life in politics. They understand how these systems work. To me, that is a terrifying thing. Regardless,
I hope it's not a fucking Stephen Miller. I hate that.
Well, I think it's a really good point, and I think that
he's done a lot of great for our country already.
Hang on. To push back on like the idea that Trump was just in the right place at the right time. I really think that like when we look at like Project 2025 and what the Heritage Foundation is trying to do, I think they've been laying the groundwork for all this for a long time, whether with Trump specifically or with some Trump-like figure. I think they've been trying to push towards this particular moment, and they've succeeded. They are now reshaping the government in the form of how the Heritage Foundation in particular wants the government to look, and the next person is always that person following this current revolutionary moment for them has always been a more competent version of whatever figurehead
I
they
don't
used
know
to
why
get to
you
this
say
point.
it like.
Oh my God, Trump is the
You
avatar.
say like it's something that's so surprising, Ryan. But we've used the same type of foundations when it comes to picking judges. Republicans have always been great at doing it. It's not a big deal.
Wait, what do you mean
And it's
great at doing
actually
it? You mean
what-
like when they stopped Obama from his legal right to put a judge in the Supreme
True.
Court, and they spent
To
the
be fair,
entire last year
that's
of
the
his.
Democrats' fault because they decided to give that up to the Republicans. That was their fault. To be
To
fair.
some degree, I agree with that, but like
Republicans
yeah,
are
Yeah.
effective
they definitely
at
bent the
getting-
knee a little bit more than I would like,
Yeah.
but.
Like, imagine if Obama was like Trump, be
Uh,
like, "No, I'm not giving that up to you. I'm putting a fucking Democrat in there."
They're
F you
more
guys.
effective at leveraging the power. That's the thing.
And like Ryan, if you want to talk about normative authority in the U.S., we can talk about it. You want to talk about Ketanji Brown Jackson?
What about her?
Yeah, what about her?
Is she good on the normative authority?
What do you mean on normative authority? I don't know the legal language. Around
Ought
what
she
you're
be
referring
on
to.
the bench?
Ought she be on the bench? Yeah, sure. She's super qualified. Yeah,
Super qualified, really good.
yeah. She's yeah. Why do you think she's
How
not?
far? How
To be
far
fair,
out?
Joseph, have you read any of her reasonings for behind why she's made any of her decisions?
Hold on. Let me throw a couple line of questionings out here. How far from the majority has she been on recent rulings and
I know.
this
I know.
past year?
You're pointing to one specific ruling where like
be against the majority. Yeah, she's
Yes.
a textualist. She believes in the law and like how the laws are supposed to be written. Yeah.
unlike some of the other people on the court who are in the majority right
No,
now.
no.
Clarence Thomas is big. He's the exact same way. I know you guys hate that, but he's the exact same way.
Even
To some degree.
even the Democrats put a
it's the same
scathing
degree, it's the same
ruling
degree.
on her. Okay, she is the lone ideologue. That's the point. And
I don't
why it
think that's
matters
true.
is because it's the normative authority in the U.S. Ryan, do you believe in packing the court?
At this point, yeah, I think Democrats should. Yeah.
Okay,
No.
and then why do we do that, Ryan?
Because the scales of power have twisted drastically, and we have a corrupt Supreme
So
Court
you
that's
want
balanced.
power?
And well, yeah, I
The
care about power.
normative
Yeah.
authority is power, correct?
I don't know the exact language you're using, but like to some degree, yeah. I mean, obviously, power at the end of the day is going to
Why
decide
do we
things.
pack the court, Ryan? All right,
We
sorry,
pack
I'll
it.
let it go. I'm getting a little,
if you're going,
little
no, but if
bit
you're going in
spicy.
I mean, like what I'm saying. Hang on, like what I'm saying. Hang on,
They're all
hang on.
purposive.
No,
If
shut the
they're
fuck
all
up.
contextualist,
God,
yeah.
who's talking over me? Why do you guys do this? Don't talk over me.
It's
all
me.
right?
Sorry.
Stop it. Learn some fucking panel etiquette, okay? I'm the host here. Like, I'm not usually the host. Usually people are talking over me, and I'll fucking mute myself like a good little bitch. But not here. Now I'm going to talk over everybody. Okay? And what I'm saying is that right now, our Supreme Court is extremely politically active. And I don't mean that in that they're like making a lot of rulings. I mean that they are politically inclined to side with the Republicans and specifically Trump's interests. I think that is the reality that we live in right now.
No, they're not. They're not purposivists, bro. They're contextualists and they're textualists. There's three philosophies. There's contextualist, textualist, and purposivist. Purposivism within like legal laws is like, okay, we're gonna look at the reason why we're ruling this way. An example of purposivism is the Roe v. Wade decision. During that decision, none of them actually cared about like providing any legal basis to why they voted that way. They're just saying, well, we just decide to vote that way. And that's what the Supreme Court gets to do.
Wait. No, that's a good point. But what they often do, like in the most recent example about allowing the ICE into LA, they did like an emergency docket for that, and they decided to offer opinions. They could have just done the same thing. They could have just voted without an opinion, but they added language to their decision or to like why they made their decision, which has
Chat is fixed,
now
by the way. Sorry
like,
about that,
legal
guys.
implications and ramifications.
And that's what we trust them to do. Like they always do give like their argumentation
Ryan's
behind why
I'm
they
still
believe
not
They
hearing,
are exercising like a legal authority when
but
they
I'm still
make
waiting to hear the logical justification for why it is okay to pack a normative authority with a different philosophy. That is the underlying issue.
Because that's what happened. That's what Trump. That's what they did.
Different philosophy, and they get to have that. That's just how it is. It's always been that way.
Yeah.
Here's a good starting point. Do you guys think that the Supreme Court?
But if Ryan does, okay.
Wait, Tessie,
sorry.
finish your question. Finish your question.
I was just gonna say, do you think because a lot of the arguments against the lifetime, or sorry, for the lifetime appointment and these things that they're impartial. But however, in the media, they will refer to them as like liberal or conservative judges, right? As like a shorthand. So do you guys actually think that they are, to what degree, free from like political influence? Like, because I feel like they are propped up on the basis that
That's a great question. I think that they're all in their. I think they're all entrenched in their own political philosophy, and they vote that way. Maybe some people
That's not
bend a little
true.
bit, but I think honestly, I think they all just have their own ideas of how
political
the Constitution
philosophy.
ought to be interpreted,
I think
and they
That's
stick
true.
to it.
That's
I
true.
think there is
Yeah.
ideologies attached to it. I don't because they have the ability to vastly shape the country in like profound ways that will affect people for generations. So when you
Yeah,
have
and that's why we should all be
Hey,
scared
Tessie, can I
that
ask you,
somebody
is
comes
it
in
good if
and
everybody in
has
the
the
court is a
idea of a
purposivist?
living constitution.
Sorry.
That should.
No, no, Tessie, is it
By the way, guys, hate to mute them in the middle of their conversation, but we do have a goal that ends in 7 minutes. By the way, just something to keep in mind. The goal ends in 7 minutes. I don't know what's gonna happen when that goal ends, but I don't want to find out. So let's try to avoid that.
I still don't quite understand what that word means.
purposivism is a legal doctrine in which you look at what you're trying to pass as opposed to what the legal doctrine says.
Oh yeah, well I feel like that's integral to their role. Like their job, they do like
It's not though. That's why there's a different philosophy. The counter to that is textualism. Textualism believes, hey, we only go by what the Constitution and what other laws allow this to be.
Right.
Purposivism says fuck all that, and hey, I'm just trying to pass this because I believe in this.
Yeah,
That's
but here's the thing. I feel like a lot of the time, and because the Constitution's been around for quite a while, it's gone through so many multiple interpretations where people will say that they're like the originalists or like textualists or whatever it may be, but that's not really the case. Like it's a
no, it is though. It is though.
But I feel like it becomes a reinterpretation, and then they're saying, well, this is what the intention originally was. But it's almost like the Bible, where they're just like they're creating meaning that they're superimposing.
And the Bible does have like an exegesis process in which you refer to authority or refer to writing. You refer to the text. What did the text say? What did the 1,000 years of Christianity say for the Bible? What did the 200 years of
then, right? Like people can impose what their interpretation of those words meant for like.
Yeah, it doesn't mean yeah, and I get you. Like there's a philosophy where like, hey, I believe this says this, but I don't think that's right. That's why I'm against purposivism.
Sure, but what you're talking about at this point then is the intention, because I think the purposivism would like if the outcomes are like they could be similar. Like you could have somebody who has this intention behind what they're doing with the reinterpretations and all these things, or you could have somebody trying to view it through some original lens, but still alter things anyway. So I feel like both.
Well, of course they're gonna alter it through the original lens. Because if the original lens says, "Hey, we weren't ever supposed to do this," just like with Roe v. Wade, like, "Hey, yo, this is an ass argumentation," it should have never been the case. But
there's other.
They're gonna overthrow it because it's like, "Yo, yeah, this is a bad fucking decision."
Right, but then there's also there's things like the U.S. like mail, right, or like the way that they keep like guns out of school through the the commerce like laws and stuff. Like there have been, I would say, I mean, it's almost like novel ways, but none of that shit's in the Constitution. Like you could get rid of.
Hey, Clarence Thomas is against what was it? Commerce Clause.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, Clarence Tom. Oh man, have you guys read?
That's what I'm telling you, dude. Like, depending on who you're talking to about like these Supreme Court decisions, they're like, no, that's dumb.
Well, because we were talking
You
about.
guys, okay. Let me ask you this: ought we have a normative authority?
Okay, when you say
I feel like you're saying normative, but I don't think you know what that means.
I don't think you know what it means. Just answer my question.
If I'm going to attach you with good faith, you mean stare decisis, but I don't believe in stare decisis if the original decision was just straight up dumb. No.
So we shouldn't have some type of authority that dictates what we should do.
Say that again.
Great.
Yeah, sorry, I missed that as well.
While he's figuring out what he's saying, I'm gonna point out that we have 4 minutes and 20 seconds left on the goal, and I don't know what's gonna happen when that goal ends, but it might not be good, you know.
I think people are wanting like a definition of what you mean by normative. Can you give us?
Yeah, that's more what I was going for. Could you clarify, sir? What do you mean?
What I mean by that is that is the one thing that everybody in the country leans on when we interpret what we ought to do. That's a fail safe.
It doesn't matter
so
what
when
everybody wants. It matters what the people who are in the Supreme Court want, like what their
it matters
philosophy
that we
is.
have one. That's what matters. It doesn't matter what
If
form it
that was the
takes.
case,
But
Roe v. Wade would still be legal currently right now. If that was the
Exactly.
case,
It was overwhelmingly popular.
yes.
it doesn't matter if it's popular. What matters is what it's legal.
That's what I'm trying
If
to
it's
tell you. It doesn't
popular,
matter if
But
it's
they're
then it
not
popular. They
needs
leaning
to
have
into
to.
the
be.
normative.
If it's popular, it needs to be voted on. You know, you elect people, they push your agenda, it becomes law. That's
From
how
a
it
Trump
works.
supporter, this is a hilarious thing for you to say, but
It really is, bro.
Why is it hilarious? What's so fucking
because Trump, because
illogical
most of the
about
country
it?
doesn't support what Trump is doing. That's why.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Most of the country. He got the popular vote, Ryan.
Yeah, which was
That's
like 30% of the
changing, though, because of what
voters.
he's doing. He's fucking that up. People are mad
Yeah,
about
so you're saying, oh, it's
people are
not
mad about
most
the
of the country.
economy. People are mad about all kinds of
Semantics.
things.
I'm saying even the people who voted for him are like, "Whoa, dude, chill."
Chill
Yeah.
on what aspect? When it comes to immigration?
Probably,
I'm
yeah, probably
upset with
on the
him that
mass,
he's
the mass
capitulating and saying
violent,
that he only
rights-defying
wants to
deportations. Yes.
You know,
No.
no. With
Also,
I
the
Trump,
think
big bullshit
okay. Let
bill.
me
Appreciate
just
you, buddy.
let me rebuttal to him real quick, and then I'll be
Sure.
quiet. Ryan, I would say that the MAGA base is more upset with him for capitulating to the idea that he's only deporting criminal illegals. They
Well,
think that he should be deporting all of them. That's the difference. You have Ann Coulter doing this. You have Megyn Kelly echoing it. There's been no pushback
Bro,
from
that is
the
what he's
White House.
doing. He
This
over
is
that
the
was that. Wait, it's
consensus.
the
Yeah.
opposite. It's literally the
No,
opposite.
it's not.
Yes, he
It's
is
a
deporting people
reality.
who aren't criminal illegals. He's literally doing that. That's what people are
Yes.
upset
If
about.
they're here illegally, they should be, and that's the consensus of
Okay,
MAGA
that's
right
not what
now.
a criminal illegal is. Do you understand that?
If you're here illegally, you're a criminal.
That's
no,
not
there's a
true.
legal
No,
there's a
we're
legal
having this
pathway.
conversation. Great.
Yeah, but I just want
Semantics,
Trump supporters don't know the
whatever,
difference,
You're
but
right,
go
but
ahead.
I don't care about
There's a
semantics.
legal process within the system that allows, if you were to come here illegally, there's like pathways to citizenship. That is a legal mechanism. So if you want to argue that mechanism,
Yeah, that's the entire
removed,
shutdown argument. I understand it. And actually,
you're
the
making an appeal
Republicans
to
are right on the shutdown
you're making an
argument.
appeal to the law, and I'm saying that
Well, hold on. Just to
these
clarify on the
provisions exist
shutdown
within the law.
thing. Just to clarify on the shutdown thing, people are saying that illegal immigrants are getting the benefits even though they pay into it, but they don't get access to it. The only benefit they get is the emergency, but that's like less than 1% of the healthcare budget.
Yeah, it's like
for
pregnancy.
illegal immigrants specifically. And also, people are conflating asylum seekers with illegal immigrants, so people are
Yes.
misrepresenting the reality behind what's actually happening.
Yeah, asylum seekers.
Yep,
and
I
refugees.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's fucked all the way around.
The Republicans are just lying.
It's a dirty argument.
But I did want to chime in.
And that's
So
why
on
it's
this-
bad for
the
Democrats.
two things that Trump is most popular with amongst like Republicans is his deportations, and also the fact that he is sending in like his tough on crime like type of thing, where he's sending like apparently with the Republican base, those two things are extremely popular. So his like law and order stuff, like
my god,
it is telling. It's
Have you seen the public broadcasting coverage on the dichotomy between Tennessee and LA, or not LA,
is it Portland?
Portland, excuse me. Yep. Have you seen them covering that?
I'm sure it's
No.
extremely sensationalist.
Wait,
Regardless,
have y'all seen the fucking
there's
viral?
It is. Yes, it is.
yes, but when you have like I don't know uniformed people from like I don't know the military service, I feel like that is already some base level of sensationalism. It's like when they were marching horses through LA or whatever that like soccer field. It's
Let me ask you this question: If you could create safe cities, I live in Minnesota. I've went to clubs downtown Minneapolis a few times. If you're out after 8, you don't really feel safe. That's always been my thing. But if you could make that feel safe, would you do it?
Of course, I have to bite that bullet. Like if you can,
you would do it.
Of course, I mean, yeah, but that's like you like led me to the answer. It's like if you could make things safer, would you do it?
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Yeah, of course I would make
Give me the
safer.
nuance. Give me the nuances.
Right. So, well, then, because then the flip, like his. Okay, well, we can take Washington because that was like where he had the authority to deploy or whatever. If you looked at the crime trend, like year over year, there was a small spike in 2023, but crime had declined from 2024, and the 10-year trend, like murder and all these things, were on the decline, like as like an average. I think 2023 and maybe one other year there was like a small increase before it started to tick down again. So if that's the point where he's saying things are so bad, I have to deploy the military to kind of get control of something that is arguably getting better already, I think that's the scary implication. Like the pretext that he's sending these things where he's like, we have to crack down on these things now because things have just gotten to this boiling point where they're so bad. But when every time I've looked into the stats on these things, I understand like
National.
well, okay, there's like the emotional feeling of like feeling safe. Like I agree, certain places at night, depending what city you live in, there's certain places you wouldn't want to be around or walk down. Like I get that, right? So there's a
Even
mental
downtown areas,
100%.
in
I
every
agree.
city in
Yeah,
downtown areas
mass
are.
homelessness, like all of this shit is it's like human misery on display, and it's unsafe, and it's if I lived somewhere and somebody was fucking taking a shit on my front porch, like, yeah, I'd probably feel some type of way about it. I'd be like, get the fucking military and get them out. I'm not saying I don't understand like the emotional pull to like want to clean up the streets. I just think that like what you have to ask what you're trading in exchange
That's
for
a
that.
fair question, actually. Like, what?
Yeah, like how far are you
What's
like
driving it?
are you okay with like patrols where they have, like are they watching the block? They just constantly have people like, to what level of I guess them do you want to be on top of it? And I think that's the slippery slope of like there. It seems like almost an arbitrary baseline of they're saying things are bad enough where we have to use this extreme measure. So what does like normal look like? So
Yeah.
Let's think about it this in a more abstract way, because logically maybe it doesn't make the most sense short term. But if you create a cycle of deterrence, I suppose we will phrase it that way, a cycle of you have people coming in and deter a certain behavior, and that happens over time, or the U.S. government exercises power in a way that puts people on notice to say or something, whatever, X, Y, Z. Is that necessarily bad? If the
it's
government,
not
But you're talking
necessarily,
about
but
intentions
it's
versus outcomes, though. That's like a different thing.
yes, yeah, yeah.
well,
And
the difference is that, I'm sorry, go ahead and say
no,
that
no, I
again.
was gonna go on something else. So yeah, you can finish.
No, that's fine.
Well, I was gonna say really quick because only Mr. Bill called me out in chat, and I should know better than to even try to read chat. But what you're referring to, because there was this thing going around, floating around, that like in Washington they were sort of like cooking the books, that like they were underreporting certain crime statistics and all these things. Um, that there was one accusation against one like high level officer from a particular police station, and they were like under investigation. There was no like evidence that they were like mass
That's
underreporting crime to like I just it's one of those narratives that I just like
I'm not going to speak matter of factly to that, but
I know
there's
it's a
been a
very
habit from the FBI of falsifying
well there's things like
crime
murder like you
statistics.
can't
So
if you're a
if you
cop
want to take
you can't hide
the
murder. Like there's certain
well,
statistics you
what I'm
can't
saying
hide.
is
Yeah.
we have institutions that report numbers. I would say one higher on the hierarchy scale has been caught falsifying. So
Do you mean
don't throw
the
too
FBI
much shade at the conspiracy theorists, but
level? No.
look into what they
Well,
say.
this goes into another thing, but one of the big issues I find is that the reporting is not uniform. So the way that definitions work and all these, like if you go on the FBI website, there's all these asterisks because the way that states collect things, the way counties, the way individual police departments may collect data is different. And I think that having like a uniform system of like from a federal level would do a lot of good to like actually get accurate crime data and be like, this is the way
It
that
might be useful, but should we have it?
we should absolutely, because then we can get a better
I don't
understanding of
think we
these
should.
problems and not have to like constantly worry about how they're viewing the data or how did they collect it.
Exactly.
I think the federal government has enough information.
But you were just saying that like there was that they've been caught in some like fabrication or something, right? So if I were taking that at face value,
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean, how many examples do you want me to give you right
but
now?
this is what I'm saying. When I'm offering you a potential solution, then don't you think that this would be better if they decided
Maybe.
like we're going to collect it, we're going to define murder, we're going to define as whatever as this, and this is like the guideline moving forward in all
Yeah.
police departments, and I don't know.
I,
It's a
th- I think a lot of people think I'm a big meanie, but like I'm actually on ground zero dealing with a lot of liberal policies. I'm live in Minnesota. I fucking bought some land and just live by my whatever. But I don't know.
Uh,
Never mind.
Wait, what are
Evacuating
like
where
the?
I was going with that. I don't want to talk about it.
I mean, fair
The
enough. I
Minnesota
guess
tangent. Love it.
I'm curious to about what like the specific things that you're like suffering under. Like, what are like what's the terrible thing
Is it
Democrats
the
did to you?
transes? Are the trans people doing it?
I don't suffer. I have a pretty good life. But
Oh, well, that's good.
I posted the thing in the side chat, but I mean, this is going back a little bit, but the Project 2025 thing, there's a useful website. I think it's
A
just
tracker.
it's just a tracker saying how much
Oh,
has been
yeah.
implemented and how close they are, and they're like right now the
Pretty
overall
cool.
progress is 48%. So if they're like almost 50% done the agenda within a year, less than a year,
That's
yeah,
terrifying.
it's kind of terrifying. They got
Oh my god, guess what, guys? This pissed me
what do
off
you
so much
guys
that
think
everybody
that
talks about this.
Democrats are gonna win on in the midterms?
I
I'm
think
sorry to cut
incompetence.
you off, but like,
Republicans
what
is
are they
their best.
winning on?
I think the
Probably.
economy. Oh, sorry, I've
Yeah.
been talking a lot. You can go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, you were actually gonna say what I was thinking. I was gonna say the economy, if the fucking Republicans don't budge and let them at the ACA subsidy expansion and recoup those cuts, that's going to be a big one. And then I think while people were concerned about the different issues with the immigration system and illegal immigration a while ago, seeing how ICE is actually handling it and DHS in general, people are getting turned off from that. So that might be another thing. Just to name a couple, or two things rather.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Like I think so. I've been trying to follow this with the tariffs and everything
Guys are
because
delusional.
Oh my god,
no,
the tariffs
hear
too.
me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think the other shoe is about to drop,
Delusional.
and right now the Republicans kind of gloat, and you could be like, well, domestic manufacturing is up, and it's like, oh damn, like maybe I was wrong, and like these things pop up where it's like rays of hope, but I've looked into it a little bit more, and the other shoe is bound to drop, like from his big beautiful bill or whatever.
Oh my god, the
He
big bullshit bill.
guaranteed
Yes.
to add. I want to say it was like 2.3 trillion, like guaranteed that it will add, unless it's offset by like either the tariffs or Doge. But then the tariff is just like you're taxing your own citizens, which he might end up just subsidizing farmers with. So it's like he's kind of was it Rob Paul to pay Peter or whatever? Like he's doing this like game of shuffle where optically things look okay, but like he's deporting the domestic workforce at the same time he's raising the price of domestic goods.
Yep.
His two most popular policies
It's so
just
stupid.
seem like they're in a fucking head-on collision course, and yeah, I just feel like that implosion will come. So I think if that hits and that downturn and people actually feel that like towards the midterms, I don't necessarily think it's going to be some hero from the Democrats that emerges and is like, I think the incompetence of Trump and the Republicans is going to make it like a desperate, like it's kind of a black pilled way to look at it, but I do feel like the Democrats just kind of have to do nothing and don't fuck up. And
That's the James Carville like outlook, right? Like that's everyone's giving him shit for that, but he's like really just like let them burn themselves out, which they are. They're burning everything at both ends, right?
It's frustrating because we want to like do something, and it feels like we have to fight back. And like some of the shit is absolutely disgusting to look at, from in my opinion, obviously. But yeah, because it sounds counterproductive. It's like what you're saying, just do nothing about this. Like the fucking country is burning. And I'm like, I get it, but I really just do think that the writing on the wall is that you're in it for some hurt, and I think that the Democrats just need to be smart about how they capitalize on it.
I agree. I actually hang on real quick. I agree with that analysis, and I think like this bring us back to like one of a conversation that was happening earlier. I think before I opened the panel and stuff, was this idea about like what do protests do, and like whether or not protests are effective. I think like what I pointed out is like when I went to the No Kings protest, like I was absolutely like wildly energized by seeing so many just normal fucking people around who are like, hey, this is crazy. And I think that like that's super important. I want these protests to continue, because as we wait for them to collapse under their own weight, which I think they are going to, especially if assuming that we have free and fair elections moving forward, I think that pressure, like social awareness of like how insane what's going on right now is, that's going to make it so much easier for us to actually win in 2026 and 2028 and moving forward.
Oh, I wanted to
Sounds
go
like
ahead
you
and say something.
understand how fear motivates people, Ryan.
Yeah, fear is motivating. I agree. Yes, and I'm scared.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's what
guys,
you just said.
I want your thoughts on this because it's something I've been thinking about for like pretty much this whole year that's been pissing me off. The fact that this fucking president ran on repeal and replace for 8 years. He doesn't even have a fucking healthcare plan.
This
Then he gets
president has
elected.
fucking provided
He gets
more for the people
elected
who've.
and
You
doesn't
don't
even have an
understand how
actual
Let
much
him
he has
plan.
finish. Let's see if he
Only a
can
delivered.
finish.
concept. Only a
Sorry, go ahead.
concept. He doesn't have any actual fucking healthcare plan. But he definitely wants to repeal and make the tax cuts. He knows that. But he doesn't have a real fucking plan. He literally knows he's full of shit. He made the fucking med bed me because he knows he doesn't have a fucking plan. And then I think there was a recent press conference where he did kind of talk about like drug I can't remember exactly, but it was something about like drug prices, and it was obviously a last minute pull because Dems are fighting for the ACA expansion and the recouping of the cuts to the healthcare stuff. But he doesn't have an actual fucking plan. He never did. And it just pissed me off that for 8 fucking years he ran on repeal and replace, never showed anybody an actual fucking plan, didn't even give an idea of the fucking plan. When's presidency? No one talks about it.
Yeah.
And he's making fucking cuts.
I'm gonna let. Yeah, I know. I agree with that analysis. I'm gonna let Joseph go. I want to add one thing that I think that like this is like why John McCain like couldn't in good conscience support the abolishment basically of the ACA. Like reason he went and gave that vote that killed it, that killed the repeal and replace, because there wasn't a replacement. That's been the whole thing.
Exactly.
But the thing is, that is the plan. The plan is for there not to be a replacement, right? Like the plan is to just gut these programs and to like that's their plan. So they have some replacement. That replacement is letting the chips fall as they may, which I think they suspect will work out in the favor of a lot of probably specific corporate interests. But go ahead, Joseph. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. This doesn't need to be an elongated tirade. I'll just say that he has delivered, and he has done so in a magnificent fashion.
How?
He has gone far beyond any politician in my lifetime, and
What has he done?
we don't need to sit here and berate everything he's done because it's so obvious, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
But
well, it's not convenient.
Okay, so I'm right. Okay, thank you.
Just to pick your brain a bit.
You think I'm wrong, Ryan?
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah. But go ahead, Testy.
Well, no, but do you think so? Because when you say like he's surpassed, like I guess your expectations are like, are your big things? Is it like the immigration, and is it like the quote unquote like I guess the end of woke or the crackdown on crime? Like, what is it about him that you think he's gone above and beyond that he's already delivered?
Yeah, immigration. We can start there, or do you just want to bypass it because he's done such a great job? There's no need for argument there.
So yeah, I mean, immigration is one because, like, I mean, apart from the fact that you're sort of killing your tourism, which is a separate thing, but apart from that,
killing my tourism. Well, I could tell you that here in Minnesota that we had such a worker shortage. We imported a lot of people from Africa, and
right. Well, that's...
whether or not it's been good for my Minnesotan economy, my taxes have went up comparably to every other state in the nation, way more. So it hasn't really done me much good, has it?
So wouldn't that be a ding against? Wait, has it gotten better?
That would be something that Trump has been doing amazing on.
But so has your wages improved, or have you seen more people get deported from where you're at?
I'm on the higher end of a competitive wage scale for what I do, but
so it doesn't affect you.
You work in tech?
Yes, it absolutely does affect me. No, I work with my hands. I'm a laborer and I work hard. It
But you
doesn't
have a
matter
kid,
though.
but you said you're on the higher like scale of that. So your job is your position is pretty secure, right?
Well, if you make over 70K in Minnesota, you're on the higher end of the
Oh, I hear what you.
working
Oh, tax
scale.
bracket. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so these people who are coming in to do, I guess, more menial labor and things like that, like they're not really threatening your position at all, or are they?
It doesn't matter. Okay, so
I feel
say
like it does
say
fit
say that you
because
have a wonderful
Um,
community. Let me cook for a second, dude. Say you have a beautiful community that you live in. I don't know where you're from, doesn't matter. But you import somebody in your city and you do that for jobs, but they don't assimilate properly. They create districts where they have their own language on their shop signs.
right,
You
they're little
know,
enclaves or whatever.
they
Yeah,
well, yeah, whatever.
yeah, yeah.
They focus in certain job sectors, and then that's how it works, and it goes on. We're importing people from Africa who have wildly different views from what I believe in. So I'm not going to hold it against them for having
I mean,
those views.
you are
I'm
holding
not
it
going to
against
say
them.
you shouldn't retain your views, but don't
Bro,
bring it to
you
my
have wildly
doorstep.
different views than me.
No, but okay, I guess
No,
what
I
I'm driving at,
don't.
what
You're
I'm driving,
Western and I am
what I,
Western. It's
so
wildly
what I'm
different than these people from Africa that we're
right. So
bringing in
part of
right
it
now. These
is a
smallies, it's crazy different.
then you
Don't
are holding
even.
it against them
these
because part of the difference
Africans,
is
I'm
cultural,
sorry.
and you're saying that their culture is essentially either incompatible or you just don't like it. And when I pushed you on like the job thing, this is one of those things where it's like a lot of it boils down to when you tell people they're like, oh, it's just it must be a concern for like your fellow man because it's like, man, they're coming in, they're taking all your friends' jobs if they're not taking your job. I already clarified, like you're getting taxed more because you're earning more, so like you're doing better in life. And so
That's
when I'm like,
not it at all. Hold on, hold on,
yes,
hold
yes,
Wait, I
on.
have a
That's
question
Sorry,
for
I
not.
just
Joe too.
realized
No, no, no,
I was
stop. That's
exercising
not.
and
Just
you
let
guys could
me
hear it.
let me respond to that. That's not it at all.
sure.
I have a question after the response.
We need people to come here into Minnesota because we have businesses that are roaring, right? So,
Okay,
say a business has the market, people want to buy product from them, but they don't have the labor force to produce that. That's why we bring people in. That's what
right.
we've been doing with these transplants and shit like that. My
So
contention is that it's not always the best thing to do to bring them in from Africa, but maybe keep the culture alive. This is pluralism at its best. If you want to get into pluralism, I'd be happy to do it. But you're fucking wrong.
so your thing
You
is
don't
higher
live in my
labor.
state. You don't know what people in my state think of, like at least in my county. So just saying.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not attacking on that front. Like, people are entitled to feel however they feel, right? Like, oh, sorry, Z, you said you had something you wanted to throw in.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was gonna ask Joseph, like, is the contention obviously we could talk about like the economic side of it, but it sounds more cultural to you. So would you say the contention for you when it comes to importing the Africans, would you say that it's that you feel uncomfortable, like seeing their culture, like it gives you sort of eyesore kind of vibe, or you just don't think that they're going to assimilate or they're not assimilating well? What would you say it falls under for you?
I will level with you out front and say I don't want them here, but my
Like
my
why?
main argument logically would be that nobody in Minnesota has taken a vote on this. This has just been happened. This has happened through federal and Democratic talks, and they brought them here.
I'm
This
So
has
just take
skeptical
it
happened
back
in
that
to
other
like,
like
is
states
this
as
that.
well.
about
This
like
has
you
happened in
being
Michigan, a
uncomfortable
close
with
friend of ours, and there's. I'll say this too. I don't know if you guys are Midwesterners or not, but in the Midwest, we have Karens just like any other place, but even the Karens understand this, which is a indictment, I would say, because it just goes to show the liberal point of view of liberal Midwestern women. It's a shared
But
belief. It's
even the
There's a lot
Karens,
of right wing Karens.
it
um,
is it is maybe maybe it's a stretch, but
I
whatever.
No, I
guess,
want to ask you. Wait, I didn't really get the answer.
yeah, yeah.
So it sounds like you're saying it's not the issue for you personally is not necessarily assimilation or lack thereof. It's just the uncomfortable feeling of that culture, like being in your
I used
state.
to
Like
live in one of the biggest three cities in Minnesota that have a Muslim population, or Somali specifically. I've lived there for a long time, for many years. I saved up money. I bought a property up in northern Minnesota, and I'm living my dream. But
Did you feel
that's not to
unsafe?
say that I have not been there and understand how there's a lack of assimilation. What, like, for instance, I lost my license for a while, and then I had to get a lot of taxis. Somalis reign supreme on that. There's no joy in interconnecting with people who are not Somali when you're with Somalis. They don't. If you ever get a taxi driver who's American or whatever, lack of a better word, they'll sit there and chat you up all day. There's just a clear divide that is well recognized within the community, devoid of politics. And that's what we're importing here right now. So there needs to be oversight over that. So when it comes to like what good stuff Trump's doing, he's been over delivering. He's been
Right. So
actually he's not been delivering enough, because when it comes to these statuses we grant these Somalis to come over here, just cut it off.
what
It's
this
he
been
probably
rampant.
hates
They've
Trump even
almost
too.
here's the tough
completely
thing,
taken
right?
over Rochester, Minnesota. It's Michigan. I'm not a Michigander, but I've heard stories from there. But what I know locally, yes, it's
You know,
ridiculous.
I
Wait,
think
so it is
what
about assimilation then?
Well, absolutely.
Okay, because I would know I was
I don't want to
so
be in a
maybe the
Muslim
problem.
culture. I want a bunch of fucking American Christians around me.
Wait,
That's what
hold
I
on, wait, but
want,
that's
and
what
I'm
I
gonna
was.
vote on it. And
okay.
Trump's doing it, and I'm happy about it. So
Wait,
what?
but that's what I was. That was the clarifying question, right? It was either you think the problem for you is assimilation, or you just felt uncomfortable around the culture.
It is. It is. Oh, well, specific. It's separate, because when you're talking about Muslim
Right.
culture, there is a assimilation problem. You're not going to get there, but you might be able to get there in, I don't know, a Buddhist culture. A Buddhist might be able to immigrant to the U.S. and say like, oh, okay, they believe in Jesus Christ, but Jesus Christ is a
I need to
deity among gods
Well,
that I
I
might
don't believe in
believe in,
Jesus
or
I need
something
a
like
Christ.
second.
that.
I don't believe in
Yeah,
Jesus
Yeah, me
Christ.
neither.
I need to jump in for like 2 seconds because
Yeah,
this is
let
You're
tough.
not.
Testicle jump in.
Well, I was just
All
gonna
right.
say this is really
Go
tough
ahead,
because
guys.
when conversations like this come up, because I've had them similarly before, it's almost like an intangible. It's a cultural. There's some cultural thing where dude. I will be the first to bite the bullet, and I do think that there are certain ideas and things globally that are incompatible with like a Western democracy. So like I can bite that
I
bullet.
agree with that too.
Yeah, yeah, which is totally fine. But when it comes to these discussions, a lot of the time it's like
One of us.
people have some.
One of us.
I think this is why there's a lot of like accusations generally of like racism. Is like I'm not putting that on you. I'm just
I
saying
will.
that a lot of that happens because I think of different cultures and it's like, okay, well, what about like people from Thailand? And it's like, oh no, they're like, we're Filipinos, or the classic, right? Like the quote unquote model immigrant. It used to be Indians, but their stocks are down bad right now. But let's take Filipinos.
H-1B visas now.
Everyone loves Filipinos. They're nurses. They're like, they kind of family oriented. They kind of keep them. I'm stereotyping, obviously, but like when people think of them as immigrants, they think, well, they sort of integrate. But realistically, they have nothing to talk. Like if you're on the bus, they're not chatting you up. Like they're not having these conversations. Like some of the things that you cited, like there is still a cultural thing where you're probably not going to interact with them. They kind of keep to themselves and they don't bother anybody, so everyone's okay with it. But then when it comes to like other things that are more visible, or people will have like festivals or they'll have like their various things, then it's like there's this feeling of discomfort. And so I guess my issue is that a lot of the times these things tend to boil down to these intangible things where it's just kind of like I'm just kind of uncomfortable with this stuff. And then you just trace that line backwards to like other cultures. When Italians came, like there's all these, but these things have happened, and then over time these peoples have been like assimilated, or the cultures have blended, or like that foreignness tends to go away. And like
Dude,
I
you're
get what
on my
you're saying.
side right now.
No, I get what, no, I'm not, because your whole thing is American and Christian. They're the two things you cited, and
No,
so
you are on my side. You're
right.
saying that people ought to be able to have that choice and create whatever
No,
community
I
they
don't.
want.
No, I don't
That's
think
my
there is no
argument.
choice. Demographics will change. people will like intermarry. Like it's the way of the world that, and like I'm not like a super.
It is the way of the world. There's no
Yes.
break in the wheel.
Okay.
We're not fucking become.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
I want to let Zeke go. Zeke just joined. Go ahead. Go ahead, Zeke,
sorry.
if you don't mind.
Hi, Ryan.
Hey, buddy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, first, I want to just correct Joseph on his grammar because there's no such word as "tooken." The second
Fair
thing
enough.
is,
Welcome back, Rowling.
the second thing is, I've never, why haven't I heard anyone correct him with his uncomfortability about other ethnicities or nationalities being in the United States of America when the United States of America is a melting pot? And if you want to be real about things, you're an immigrant as well. Really and
I'll
truly.
answer that directly if you'd like.
So, well, let me just finish because I'm actually from Canada. And one of the things that the Canadian government has been doing in the last decade, actually even longer than that, is called reconciliation. And I don't know if you know what that is, but what the policy of the Canadian government in recent years has been to emphasize, how should I say, to emphasize extending Indigenous visibility, acknowledging that the land that we are on does not belong to us. It was stolen. Does not belong to us. It was stolen from First Nations and Indigenous people. I've been in the United
Wrap
States.
it up, dude. Wrap it up.
Go ahead,
I'm
Zeke.
sorry?
You're fine. You're fine, Zeke. Go ahead.
Okay. I've been in the United States. I'm in Georgia right now. I've been here for about 3 months now. And I've met a few First Nations, Indigenous people since I've been here. And I've always wondered, why in the United States have we not seen or heard from First Nations or Indigenous people when it comes to these ICE rounding up people and deporting them? Because if we want to keep it real, this land does not belong to anyone but the First Nations and Indigenous people. So you saying you're uncomfortable with someone from Africa because they don't share your values or whatever it is you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
You really need to I think I really think, and I've been listening for the last hour plus, and I really think you
Can
spend
I
a
ask
lot
you a
of
question?
time. Wait, let me just finish this sentence. I really believe you spend a lot of time thinking you're a philosopher.
Can
And
I
you
ask
come
you
up
a
with.
question now?
Go ahead.
Do you think you ought be able to determine who lives in your community?
Do I
Yes.
think that I should be able to determine who lives in my community? Is that what you
Yes.
asked?
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna try to.
Yes or no, dude? Answer the
No,
question.
no. I'm gonna
Answer the
no
fucking
because
question, dude.
actually, unlike you, I think about what
Yes
I
or
say
no?
before I say it. Okay?
Nah, dude. You want to talk shit,
Because
but just
I
answer.
don't even know.
no,
Hang on. I don't even know if I have like a quick yes
no.
or no to that question. But
Sorry, I'll be quiet. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
let me also say, because I also posted in the chat earlier that you have a lot of unconscious bias and racism that you don't even recognize you do. And you say things that is obvious to everyone else that is racist and that is that you don't even understand where it came from because you were raised in an environment where it was normal. And so you saying that you see signs of a different language at the store and you have an Indian cab driver that like, who are you?
Zeke, don't you think if the Native Americans had the same views as he did and like were organized as he did, they would not have the problem of like having a sovereign nation taken away from them?
You spoke too fast. What was that?
If the Native Americans had the same values that Joseph did, in which like they didn't let that unified and didn't let their sovereign nation get taken away from them, don't you think that we would have this problem to begin with?
Wait, so I'm not quite understanding what you said. So
He's comparing colonialism or like imperialist colonial projects to immigration is what he's doing basically.
Yep, pretty much.
No, I'm saying that like if the Native Americans like unified as a nation, became a sovereign state, and asserted their sovereignness, and said, "Hey, we want only this nation for the Native Americans," they wouldn't have been.
Actually, you want actually. So one of the things in Canada that, and I don't know if you know the history of the Indigenous and First Nations people in Canada. One of the reasons why they are not, they haven't been as visible in the past and have become more visible now, and I mean the media is starting to pay attention to all of that, is we are still finding mass graves in like to this, like I mean I think the last one that was found was probably like maybe a year and a half ago.
That's not quite true.
No, it is true.
No.
It's true.
It's true.
Yes, it is
No
very
mass
true.
graves
Almost
unmarked,
it's like
unmarked graves have been found. There have been no mass graves found.
Exactly, right? And to this
There's a
day,
difference.
and to this
Sorry, I'll
day,
let you finish. Go ahead.
and to this day, the First Nations and Indigenous people, people have this idea that they get everything for free, and no, they don't. You know why? And when I brought up the fact that I've met a few Indigenous people here in Georgia, I asked and I said, how come I haven't seen, let's say for example, 11 Alive, talking to them, talking to their community about what's going on with ICE, because because I did not know this, but the United States government makes it almost impossible for them they have to identify. There's a process in which they have to identify their indigenous lineage, and it's quite impossible. It's next to impossible for them to do that, so they don't even bother to try.
Sure. I'm going to let you guys, I'm going to let Joseph, I guess, respond to that. And then, so I am going to, we didn't meet the goal, and I'm kind of, the reason I didn't shill is because I am still kind of sick, and I'm probably going to shut down. But I want to let you guys go around.
We're going to shut down the government? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm going to, too late for that. There's already Spirit Halloween in the Capitol building. But I'm going to let you guys go around, starting with Joseph, and give like a whatever closing thoughts you have. And then I'll probably just talk to the chat for like less than 10 minutes, and then I'm going to shut down the stream for the night. But I appreciate you all being here. It's all love, even though Joseph, I very much agree with what Zeke was saying about your unconscious biases, but I guess you can start by replying to.
And he doesn't even know it. Yeah. And that's the reason why I joined. I was just gonna listen. I'm sorry to cut you off, Ryan. Yeah. I was just gonna listen for the rest of the morning, but I really what you said about the Africans and the way we were talking. I was like, you don't even know you're saying these things, and it was incredibly jarring for me to even listen to it.
Yeah, I agree, but yeah, go ahead, Joseph, and we'll come back around to you, Zeke, before we're done. But
I suppose in response to what you said, I would say I think most people live a certain way and they know when they're doing wrong and right. Pretty simple.
Can I ask you? Can I just tell you something?
And
wait. Sorry, Zeke. Let him give a, because I'm letting him give like a broader closing statement, but you'll also have your own, so you can kind of make another point there. If you ask him a question there, I'll allow it as well. But go ahead, Joseph.
Even when we try to fool ourselves like we're not acting respectfully, that's kind of how we judge ourselves, and I'll leave it there. Anyway.
Fair enough. All right, Testy Johnson.
Yeah, I these discussions, like I've had people with like visceral, like aggressive responses when I basically say that like the cat's out of the bag, like when a Pandora's box is open, however you want to put it, like cultures are going to mix, demographics change over time. This has historically just always been true, and like this idea of like I don't know, some sort of hegemony, or like you want to, or so I guess homogeneity, and like you want to sort of preserve something. Like I understand the romanticization of that idea, but that's like ahistorical. That has never been the case, and when you try to do it, it falls apart eventually. So yeah, that, and I don't know. I see this as like an inevitability, and it sucks. You know, it sucks. White people will eventually be the minority in America, but it's the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately.
Base streak built Tesla.
Thank you, Testy. All right, Z King.
My closing statement is Donald Trump is behaving like a fascist. If he doesn't want to be described that way, he should stop doing things that a fascist may do or agree with. Just saying. Maybe we'd stop saying that if you stopped doing that type of shit. Just saying. That's my closing statement.
I think it's a fantastic point. Zeke, you have the floor. Thank you again for joining.
Thank you. Honestly, my whole, I've been here for, and I'm just visiting. I'm going back soon, but I love this country, and I think Americans are one of the best people in the world, and I say that because with Americans, you know where you stand. Like, there's no two-footing around. This country is a very unique country in this world. It's built on diversity. It's built on immigration. The whole world is built on migration. And I find the xenophobic rhetoric that's happening now, especially, you know, it's ramped up with this administration now. It's incredibly sad. It's disheartening, and it's a joke, but it's not funny.
Yeah.
And it's just, I wonder what the next 3.5 years and what even comes after. Someone brought up the point earlier about what's going to come after. That's going to be the scary part.
Yeah, 100% agree. All right. Well, thank you again for joining. I very much appreciate your input. You're welcome back anytime, Zeke. Appreciate
Thank you. Have a good night, morning.
You as well,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Yeah, sure, whichever one. I saw Montero jumped in, but yeah, we are about to end. As to now that Christine, we did meet one goal, but then I started another one. Like I gave a 30-minute goal, and I didn't shill it because I decided I was like, if no one does this, then I'm just gonna let it end. And they didn't, which is okay because again, I didn't shill it. I didn't put pressure on you guys to do it. So, but yeah, thank you everyone for joining and sharing. I appreciate even Joseph. Look, I also don't want to be an echo chamber. I appreciate that we have in that conversation, you know, to some degree, we had like an inversion of what I see on a lot of panels. At least a lot of the panels that I go in, where like I'm the one progressive-minded person, and then there's like a ton of extremely conservative people who are fighting me specifically. And you know, we had Growling as well, who leans more conservative, but obviously is currently more critical of what Trump has been doing, which I appreciate. And yeah, you know, you're welcome for streaming as well. It's thank you for kind of pushing me too. I'm glad I did. But yeah, I think it was a good panel. I like what I've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million more times. I really appreciate the community we're kind of fostering here. I think it's a very open-minded, like conversation oriented. Even the people who disagree strongly seem to be engaging in mostly good faith. And I think that's a really important thing. While I do believe that a lot of blame for where we're at right now lies on the current Republican Party, and particularly the Trump MAGA branch of that Republican Party, I think it's still important for us to be able to have conversations with people who support that. And I don't think the way to beat fascism is through things like what happened to Charlie Kirk. You know, I don't think that's the way we need to navigate. I think we do still need to be able to have peaceful conversations. I think that's really important, and I'm happy to do my small part to foster that. And thank you all for helping me do that. Umbreon, I need you. Come here. Umbreon, say goodnight. Say it. All right, he's shy, so we're just gonna end. Elite has a silly meme in Discord for me. I will check it out. Elite, actually, you know what? Let's see what it is. Maybe we'll even pull it up as a closing meme. Oh wait, it's a clip from what's that movie called? The Team America World Police. Is that what it is? Maybe I'll watch it after stream. Oh, Elite! I didn't even see that was a donut. Thank you so much, Elite. Thank you so much for the $2. Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate all of you. Thank you again. Make sure you like the stream. Maybe I should make sure I send you guys somewhere, so that you're not just disappearing into the ether. I can use this as an opportunity to spread some love to another live streamer. And so let's take a look at who's live currently. Let's go over to... Damn, like almost no one is live. I guess I can send you guys to Beth. You guys know Beth from some of these panels. She started streaming. I mean, I don't love the panel makeup over there, but you know what? I might actually hop on. So I'm gonna send you guys over there because I might still hop on. Send you a big stream. I'm not. Yeah, you're not going to a big stream. You're going to a very, very small stream actually. And it's a lot of the people. It's a lot of my enemies. My rogues gallery. Like Emmett is on this panel. Okay, go. You guys are going to engage with my rogues gallery. All right. Yeah. Feel free. Yeah. I don't blame you. You don't have to go. Right. But we're about bridges here. So I am going to send you guys over there to Beth. So if you don't want to be over there, then feel free to just click off. I don't blame you at all. But if you do, then tell them learning is radical and Ryan sent you. And I am also going to I might actually jump on and fight with them. So yeah, see you there. Good night. Big stream, get your name out there. No, I don't want to go. There's just no other. There's no like big stream. I mean, like the only one who like the only other like the Anti-Justice League. Like the only other streamer who's like who would be like who's good for me to like build bridges with is Kid Not Kid, and I just raided into him last night. Otherwise, I would just do it again. But whatever, it's okay.